Okay. Here we are again. Back with more Legend. Need to stop. I am not a word poet. This is not Slam Poetry Night at MCR's house. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so we'll do our usual thing. We'll wait for the musique to go through the first time. I'll go into title select. We'll wait for the musique to go through the second time. And then I will go and start the game. Since the song is almost getting there, I'm gonna go put my map that I have for this dungeon up on my computer screen. By the time I'm done, it'll be closer to done. Not quite done yet, but it'll be closer to done, so that way we can get started shortly thereafter. So I'll be right back. Okay, let me take a drink, and then we will get started. Okay, so you know how Darkwing Duck said, "Let's get dangerous" at several points and occasions in his show? Well, I'm about to do him one worse. Let's get a nasty. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy Legend 2, the Stream Edition. Last time, we settled the wedding and crashed a wedding in Venus City. participated in underground dragon races, and also saved an entire shogunate from an evil magnate and his shogunate son. So, yeah, we got pretty cosmopolitan last time, but this time it's going to be probably all fighting, because we're here in the Nasty Dungeon, and it is a long dungeon. It is very incredibly long and winding and harrowing for a dungeon of Game Boy capacity. So we're going to do the best we can to get through it. We should be in fairly good shape, all things considered. I have a whole bunch of stuff here. We have a whole bunch of decent stats, and we'll be getting even more of them as we go. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? We already made our preparations, so we'll be in good shape to go through here. Most likely the way I'm going to be handling the Nasty Dungeon is that, like I said, I have a map on my computer screen. And in addition to the map, I also have plans to go out of the dungeon at one point so that we can sell off excess gear that we have, because we're probably not going to be able to make it through the whole dungeon with just what we have. We're going to need to go sell some stuff before we finish up. So, hey Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? We are just about to make our way, well, we're starting making our way through the Nasty Dungeon, defending against fire moths that have the flame ability. And Null's not going to get a turn, but that's okay. We should be alright. We have the barrier for the rest of the thing, so we should be able to take the rest of these guys out without too much trouble. There we go. Perfect. We don't need fire moth's meat, right? Let me go pull up my notes for the next transformation. I know we don't need it now, because the next transformation we need to do is not until the next world, but just want to make sure I know what I'm doing here. Did I never get rid of these two from the previous stream? Okay. Let me just clear those bad boys right out of here. There we go. And now let's go back. Hold on. Check something. I was off of the chat, so I had to go take a look at what you said there, Conkers, because it wasn't showing up on my chat. I think I've heard of Slay the Spire before. I've never played it myself, but I feel like I've heard about it before. Leaving for a bit to get some food. Alright, no problem. You go do what you need to do, Conker. Once you are ready to go, I will be here. So, nightmares, 2 of them. So, probably a good idea to use the Dragon Shield here because of the fact that they otherwise will be using the flame ability on me, and that's no good. There's only 2 of them, so I guess I could just do this and hope that we make it. Probably won't make it because, yeah, this is going to happen now. I was kind of hoping that would go first, but, well, whatever. It's fine. We got the barrier now just in case. A lot of enemies in the early dungeon can use the flame ability, so you definitely, if you don't have full dragon armor, you definitely want to make sure that you use the dragon shield to keep your resistance up, because otherwise you'll be taking 200 damage that you didn't necessarily have to take, so yeah, that's no good. Don't do that. But it's pretty easy going for the first little bit of the dungeon. There's only 1. I think I'm just gonna run. We'd have a chance to gain some stats from that, but not a whole lot, so. Let's see. I think I want to go to the right here, because I think there's treasures to the right. So I'm going to go do that. And let's just use up the rest of Yumi's Cat Claw, I think. It's okay if she uses up the Cat Claw and the laser. It's not a huge deal if she does, because we're going to get something that she'll be able to use other than that in a little while, so. Yeah, still doing pretty good damage, all things considered here. Try to use nail where I can. How many tents did we bring in here? Did we just have the 1? Yeah, we've just got the 1. Well, not to worry about that, because you do get a couple of tents over the course of the entire dungeon in some of the treasure chests. So you should have... They're almost in spots where they could basically be considered designated checkpoints. So if you are concerned about the fact that you won't have enough uses for your skills to get through here, don't worry about it. We'll have plenty. And actually, I should still kill the monsters when there's only 1 of them, because that still gives Yumi and Null a chance to gain HP. Speaking of HP, there's a body potion with a power potion, so That will help. How much space do I have? 3. Okay, well, we're about to have 5, so give the power potion to Yumi. Give the body potion to Null, right? I really should probably give it to Null. Because, again, I feel like if I give it to Yumi, she's just going to end up with a lot more HP. But, well, she's behind, so I guess we'll split it 1 and 1. That's fine. Okay. She has less to work on, but she is a little behind on HP, so I figured, whatever, why not? She is doing pretty good on agility and mana, though, and those will only go up as we go through the dungeon here, so. But yeah, on top of being an incredibly long dungeon, this place is also all about inventory management. You have to make sure you know exactly what you're doing when it comes to managing your inventory in here, or else you probably won't make it out of here with all of the goodies that you may want to take from here. Cat Claw and Thunder. We'll save our Psychic Blasts for later. Especially if I happen to get a, well, an agility boost is nice, but especially if I happen to get another ability for Null instead of Circle Poison. That would actually help quite a bit, because then I could take Thunder and stick it in the 4th slot and then go from there, so. It's a fun card deck builder game with some good replayability through its Ascension system, which unlocks after being in campaign for the first time. Yeah, card building. I think I remember seeing some gameplay about it. It's like you use the cards to fight, but no, I'm thinking of something else. I know I've heard of Slay the Spire, and I know I've heard of it being a card builder game, but I'm also thinking of another game where it's like you fight with cards, but you can just as easily persuade people. Like, you can either choose to fight with swords and magic and stuff, or you can choose to fight with cards to persuade them into your way of thinking. And either way is equally viable, because you can end up going through the story no matter what. So, I don't remember what that game's called, though. I don't think that's Slay the Spire. It's something else, but I can't for the life of me recall what it is. We need Catwoman's meat later, right? Yes, we need it later. But not yet, because I don't want to transform into something with it right now, because it'll probably give me something that doesn't have warning, and I would much rather have than have not in this particular case. I'm going to use the Dragon Shield. There's 3 of these guys, I might as well be careful. I'm trying to save my flames if I can, because, and they're actually not weak, they're not resistant to fire, so I don't know why I'm not using that. But yeah, I'm trying to save my flame attacks if I can with Quinfucius, because they will come in handy later on when we start getting into groups that are more than just like the single enemies. So the exit of the floor is off to the left, so we're going to go up here first, I think. Yeah, there's another treasure up here. You want to keep an eye out. There's usually like 4 to 5 treasures on each floor, depending on which floor you're on, so. Thinking of what game I'm talking about, just don't remember either. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen anything with that game, and I can't believe I remember that it even exists, but it's something, and I don't remember what it is, so. These nightmares, though, are actually resistant to fire, so you actually can't use that on them. Just so that you are aware. There's like 3 or 4 enemies in the dungeon, I believe, that are completely immune to fire. So, yeah, you gotta work around that with something else. So, there's another dragon armor in case you need it. We do not, but I will hold on to it because it can sell for decent money. And we've got 4 slots. Okay. So we're probably going to want to start using up some of our stuff here. Let's see. I brought along a heal staff. I'm kind of trying not to use it if I can, though. And I want to hold off on my cures until we're actually at a point where I need them, so. Each card costs a certain amount of energy, so you need to think about which cards you want to play during your turn. Gotcha. It sounds interesting. These guys are just physical attackers, right? I mean, I guess I could use the Dragon Shield just to bonk them on the head. But a combination of Fire Thunder should do us good. Like I said, eventually you're going to start running into enemies that are more than just a single group, so you're going to have to kind of strategize around that, but we'll do that in the next couple of floors. Might even use the heal staff now, because that's, well, mana up, nice. a little bit of damage we've taken. Don't be afraid to use up some of the resources that you have because, well, we'll get plenty of money throughout this dungeon to the point where we're not even going to have to worry about money, like, ever again in the entire game, so by the time we're done here. We'll just spread out our cure uses, though, because, why not? I didn't bring any spares, so may as well. If we're going to strike first, then I can probably just do this, and do that, and that. Yeah, we'll see how far we can get on just the one tent. I'd like to get about halfway through the dungeon if I can, without having to use the Pegasus Magi to get out, but, oh good, bunch of mana ups this time. And that'll be helpful. We'll start getting a decent chunk of mana ups, because the monsters we're going to be fighting on the first 4 floors here are all level 8 monsters, and that's, let's see, level 9, A, and B are the only higher ones, so that's the 4th highest level monsters we can fight in the entire game. So, yeah, you'll be getting, should be getting some decent stat gains here. We might end up, by the time we're all done in here, with our stats being... Well, Yuumi will probably have her agility close to 50, if not in the 50s. Noel will definitely have his mana in the 50s. And Yuumi's mana will probably be somewhere in the 40s. So, yeah, it should be pretty good. That laser sword that I'm using on Arya there, I just want to use the one for now, because we're going to replace it with a different weapon in a little while. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you use up the uses, because it won't sell for anything that I would actually care about selling it for anyway, so... Most likely I'm just going to trash it by the time we're done with it, because it's going to have no uses left, so... Okay, this is more like it in terms of battles that have multiple different enemies in it. So you gotta kind of strategize who you kill here. Probably the young dragon there is a good bet for who I would want to beat up. Although, I might want to do this and then do that. And then have you use this on the Wraith because it's still weak to Thunder. And then why don't you use the Ice Book on the Catwoman? Because I don't think you can kill the Catwoman with just your Thunder spell. So... yeah, gotta strategize a little bit in here. Okay, the Catwoman had enough HP to live through that too. That's okay. It's just that Catwoman left now. It's just her, so we'll be in good shape. Oops. Yeah, I can't use Circle Poison as a battle command. That's not gonna work out. Okay, there we go. And just like that, there, 1 floor down. See, making it look easy so far, but trust me when I tell you, it's going to get a lot harder. As usual with this game, the first few floors aren't too bad, but then once you start getting down further and further, it gets harder and harder to keep up, so... Now I just need to remember where specifically the item that I would like to get is, because, like I said, I want to get about halfway through the dungeon, but the 4th basement floor... There's actually, you can get to the stairs to get to the 5th basement floor very quickly from the 4th basement floor, and I would actually like to go and do that, just that. Like, I would like to go to the 5th basement floor almost right away, so that way I can go grab a couple of items that'll be fairly useful to us, if I have enough room in my inventory. This is one of those fights where using the flame ability would be pretty good because of all the enemies we have here. And I ain't even worried about using the samurai bow in this particular case. Those Lamias are dangerous as hell and they need to die. So, if I can get my turn before them, thank you. 900 damage, ridiculous. But yeah, I'm not too concerned about Blizzard because every single person in my party should have ice resistance at this point. Yuumi, Noel, and Arya have the dragon armor, and then Confucius has the Thunder Magi, which gives him resistance to ice, so... Why the Thunder Magi gives you resistance to ice, I don't know, but hey, if it works, it works. Excuse me. Yeah, as you can see, the monsters here are giving a significant amount of, what's it called, gold, and we'll also be getting a lot of gold from the stuff we're selling here. I'm basically not going to be keeping most of the things that we're going to get here, so yeah, might as well use them and sell them. But yeah, as you can see, 3 heads is still very, very good. Pretty much just as good as it was in the original game. It just is used in a different context here because you can actually use it as you have other attacks on Chimera that are just as useful as Three Heads was in the first game, other than, rather than just having the one useful skill and the rest of them being barely useful, you have a bunch of useful skills. A bunch of good strength stuff, and that has a good strength stat, Three Heads, and then a flame ability to just soften up the enemies so that everybody else can kind of clean up. So it all works out pretty nicely. Do that, and do that. And I'm going to use up this fire book, just because we have a spare, and I need to use the fire book in situations where it's not an enemy that's resistant to it. So, yeah. And, the mana ups are nice. Those will help. Those will get us far. Okay, this battle can be really nasty, so every single enemy in this battle can use flame. So if you don't have fire resistance, you're gonna wanna get you some. Mage's Staff won't work on those lava worms, so who do I want to kill here? I guess I could use the Samurai Bow? No, I really shouldn't, because I kind of need the resistances. Well, if I'm going to put up the Dragon Shield resistances anyway, then I guess I could kill the Fire Moths, because really the Lava Worms don't do a whole lot other than Flame. Then again, neither do the Lava Worms, so... And actually, I could just do this. There we go. Bam! Three Heads is just so good, I love it. But yeah, there you go. With Dragon Shield up, Flame, nothing to worry about. Stunner, still something to kind of worry about, I guess, but yeah, we can just blast right through that. Ain't no big deal. And, yeah, how about Samurai Bow? Why the heck not? Wonder if Yumi's gonna get her turn before anybody else that could do this. But yeah, as you can see, the barrier lasts the entire fight. You don't have to put it back up again. Don't worry about it. We're in good shape. Yumi's getting mana ups like crazy. It's all good. It's all good. And 6 Catwomen, how do I want to handle this? Hope you're not superstitious, because Arya's got 666 HP. Alright, Conquer, see you in a minute. They can still deal, well, they only deal, single-digit damage, if I recall correctly, so I ain't too worried about it. Do I want to use 3 heads? No, I'd rather just use Nail, actually. Might as well use Fire, and then Thunder. Yeah, lots of fighting on today's episode. We, like I said, will most likely be in this dungeon the entirety of the stream, so, I hope you like the battle theme. I love it, personally, so I can't get enough of it, but I can understand how people wouldn't. Yeah, as you can see, plenty of mana we're getting out of this whole thing. And a speed boost as well from the speed potion, so that's rather nice. Let's see. Speed boost for Yumi. 1, 2, 3. 3 slots left. Okay. We'll have a few slots when we use up these elixirs and tents and stuff, but yeah, I'd like to not do that just yet if I can. I'd like to wait until a little later before I use those up. Let's just do this real quick. There we go. And, yeah, I don't need to do it for 6 HP. If I had just the regular cure ability on Null, then I'd be like, yeah, whatever, just use it, because we're going to use a tent anyway, but since I don't, then those books don't recharge when I, do stuff. I gotta be a little bit stingy with my ability uses here. Not gonna be stingy with my fires or thunders, though, because those, we need to use. I'm gonna stick it on fast forward while I take a drink. Now, let's see. According to my fancy-dancy map over there, the map that I'm using, by the way, is the map from GameFAQs. I forget the name of the person that made it. I can go look, actually. Hold on. So, there's a gentleman, or gentle lady, not certain, not assuming gender. Gentle person by the name of Starfighter76 over on GameFAQs, who did highly detailed maps, including all of the treasure chests, for every single dungeon in all 3 of these games. So, big shout out to them. Their maps are the ones that I use for Final Fantasy Legend 1. I'm using them here for Legend 2. I don't think I'll need to use them for Legend 3 because a lot of the dungeons in Legend 3 are very straightforward. But big shout out to them because they made this thing a whole lot easier by making these fancy high detail maps. So, do I use the Mage's Staff here? Will Noel get a turn if I use the Mage's Staff? Good question. I'm gonna find out just from my own personal knowledge. And Psychic Blast! That's pretty good damage. I didn't even need to use that barrier. This is a preemptive strike. I could have been fine. Oh well. Noel's not gonna get a turn. No. Okay. Good to know. Got it. Thank you for that, Noel. Could you not? Please. We don't need that right now. Samurai Bow. There's more than one. I gotta make sure that they die. Although, really, if I just do this in 3 heads, they'll both die. And then Catwoman. Do this and then that. Okay. Gonna have to start using our Psychic Blast pretty soon. Oh, I only hit a couple of times that time. Well, we might take a... Okay, that's fine, actually. I was gonna say, we might take a little bit of damage, but we'll be fine. Yeah, see, I mean, a little bit of damage, but nothing we can't handle. So, you might as well use Cure, though, because why the heck not? And then you can cure Yumi. Or we could kill the dragon first, that works too. Awesome. Lots of mana ups. All the mana ups. 39 mana, 47 mana, we're in good shape. Do that, and then... Yeah, you know what, I think we'll be okay. If you're not, like, below 400 HP, you're probably fine, so... But, you know, just in case, you might want to stay above that. So here's a magic potion. Let's give that to Noel. I think this is the last one in the game that they'll be getting, like, in terms of the speed potion that we just got and then the magic potion we're getting now. I don't think they get any more boosts, so... Yeah, might as well make use of them while you can. But, I mean, yeah, Noel's got 50 mana, so he's good for basically the remainder of the game now. He doesn't, I mean, other than this X Thunder that he's got, which I don't know why he keeps getting, but whatever. Yeah, he's good for the rest of the game in terms of mana. He doesn't need anything else other than a better 4th ability, like Cure. But, yeah, his mana is good for the rest of the game. It'll still go up, obviously. We'll probably end up with about 70 mana by the time we're done, but, yeah, he's good where he is. He's got enough. Yeah, I gotta use the Samurai Bow before these guys kick my ass. I guess just use Nail. And then we'll use Fire and Thunder like we've been. Even though we've only got 2 Thunders left, that's okay. That is enough Thunders. Ow. That hurt a little bit. We're gonna see, this is why you need to have Cure though here, is because you take hits like that in almost every single battle. And obviously after a little while it's gonna get to the point where you may wanna you know, slow down the damage a little bit. So, but we've got Cure books, so we'll be fine. I hope. Usually I have Cure by this point, so I can't really say one way or the other because I don't think I've ever played to this point without having Cure. So, oh good, Answerers. So these are more guys that are resistant to damage and change. So big pain in my nutsack that they are. I think the demons are resistant to fire as well, so got to do something else like this. I know we have a Thunder Charge, but I'll save it for a situation where I actually need it. Yeah, even with the Samurai Bow there, I mean, with their circle change, it halves the damage they take from weapons, so that, yeah, makes it so that they don't take enough damage to die, which is a little unfortunate, because it means everybody else is going to have to pick up the slack, but, yeah, we'll do what we can. Ha! Gotcha. Okay, I'll take it. There's another cat claw for us, and after this battle, we'll find out what's in this other chest. Yeah, the battles here are frequent. That's a good way to put them. They're frequent. Why don't you help out there, and then just use the ice on the lava ones, because they'll die in 1 ice, so... Ha! You cannot stun me! Absolutely nothing. Gotta love the dragon shield. Again, even with the dragon armor, it's nice to just have it. There's a Vulcan cannon, and what did we get from the other chest? I'm gonna go look. Another cat claw, that's right. Who am I gonna give that to? Am I gonna give that to Arya? I'm gonna give that to Arya once the laser sword is out of uses, actually. Because I think, well, actually, should I? Because eventually, like I said, we're going to get a replacement for this laser sword, but it's going to be something that isn't the cat claw. Usually I do give my robot the cat claw here, but eventually I'm going to end up replacing it like within the next world or two anyway. So maybe I should save it and just keep it for Yumi, so she can raise agility later as well. How are we doing on slots anyway? Let's see. We got one slot left, so I'm going to need to use probably that tent pretty soon, so just to free up a little inventory space. How are we doing over here? You've got full slots, so... And I know you can't equip anything. Welcome back, Conker. Not a whole lot, mostly just battle stuff. I got all the treasures on this floor, so now we're going to move to the basement second floor. And Null got X Thunder again, because of course he did. He just can't avoid that ability, but other than that, yeah, he didn't miss too much. Oh, good, this battle again. Well, at least I can take care of it. It's only one answerer, so it isn't really a huge deal. Use the 3 heads ability, because why not? We'll do this, and we'll do that. Yes, out of spite, most likely. You are correct. Probably. It's probably the reason. Just to make my job more difficult. That's okay. I don't mind. Like I said, he's been somewhat difficult in some cases throughout the whole game, just like the mutant in the first game. He isn't nearly as memey as Luna was in the first game, because Luna's entire ability set was a complete joke through the whole game. At least Null got, you know, Psychic Blast and Surprise with no trouble whatsoever. But he's been very stingy about getting Cure, so... He's been something of a troll. Not a full-on troll, but something of a troll the entire playthrough, so... Alright. I believe on this floor the name of the game is whenever you see a path that isn't you going straight, so like, if I was going straight I would have kept going to the right. Whenever you see a branch in the path, take it, because there's probably a treasure chest or two down it. That's the case for the next couple of floors, really, so... what do we got? 3 Catwomen? Okay. Trying to use their powers of seduction on me. That was Captain Quark. I was quoting Captain Quark. Frankly, if a Catwoman like this jumped on top of me, I would be very disturbed, honestly, because it looks more like a werewolf. It's a jackal. Jackal? Jackal. Just because you say it 6 times doesn't make it right. I'm going to use that elixir right now. Yeah, might as well. You'll get a lot of elixirs in this dungeon, but don't be afraid to use them. They are not in the Too Good To Use club for this particular dungeon, because this is the only place you'd really get to use them in any kind of capacity, so yeah, don't be worried about it if you use it. Especially since you only have 16 inventory slots to work with as it is. So, don't be afraid to use stuff up. And there's another laser, which I'm actually going to equip right now, in place of this laser. We're going to switch the laser for the laser. And what this is going to do for Arya is it's going to give her a good agility boost and a decent HP boost, as you'll see right here. Yeah, 726 and 71 agility. This laser, like I've said previously, it ignores defense and does fixed damage. But it's mainly there for the agility boost for Arya, so that her laser sword does more damage, but also it's there for boss fights, because in boss fights from now on, I think every single one of the boss fights from this point on in the game will have at least circle weapon, if not circle change or circle all. So her regular physical attacks and even the samurai bow will be affected by circle weapon, or circle change, or circle all. But the laser will not be. So it's better to give that to her, get her the agility boost, and get on top of the fact that she can deal some decent damage with it. It'll only deal like, 350, 400 damage, but it's more than you'd be doing anyway with the samurai bow, even with like really high agility boosts and everything. Everything in this battle can use flame, so I definitely want to use the dragon shield. There is too much threat going on here for me to not have to take it out. I'll be able to kill these guys? Probably not, because everything in this battle is also immune to flame. See, Chimera is good for this place. It's just that sometimes the flame ability, at least in the early dungeon, it gets resisted by a lot of the enemies. Later in the dungeon, not so much, but until that point, we're going to have a little bit of a hard time with it. So, ice is really good here, though, at least for the first 4 floors. And even after that, because ice is just probably the best element in the game, frankly. Not enough enemies resist it to make it to the point where it's, like, not useful. It's usually why you want to keep Blizzard with your male mutant if you get it, So, anyway, let's use up the other laser sword now, because we'll be getting something else to replace that with soon. I'll use Psychic Blast, but we're not going to even get to Null's turn, so... And I don't think Arya will be missing very much at all from now on, because she's got high enough agility to where the vast majority of her hits are guaranteed now. So, pretty much a freebie. We'll do that. We'll do that. And you guys are, I think, resistant to Thunder. So we'll do that. And then this. But we got a spare book in each and every case, so we should be okay. These demons can do some halfway nasty things to you, but it's really nothing I'm concerned about. They actually have to hit with their status abilities for it to be useful, and then the rest of the stuff, it's like, well, I mean, if you're going to hit Arya, she has 94 defense, so good luck to you. Let's see. We have no inventory slots left open, right? Yes, although this can go right in the trash because we won't... Getting that out of the dungeon to sell with 3 uses left on it is not even worth it. Might as well just trash it and then use up... I might use up an elixir on Arya in a bit now that I got that laser gun for her. So, I just didn't want to use an elixir while I was using the laser sword, because then it would be more tempting to take it outside of the dungeon with the Pegasus. But, yeah, we don't need to worry about that anymore now, do we? Why don't we... See, because I only have Thunder on... Well, actually, this should work okay, because I have Thunder on Yuumi there, and then Psychic Blast, so... Lamia will die, Sharks will die, and then Null and Confucius can mop up. See, there you go. There. Love Psychic Blast, so good. And especially when I'm getting mana ups out of it. And of course now Yumi's going to get an excessive amount of HP now that I gave her that body potion. But, well, whatever. If she ends up with 999 or more, because you can get more, then, I mean, it's whatever. No big deal. So. But yeah, 600 HP. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And like I said, it'll only go up from here, so. That's 3 enemies that can use flame. That would be the entirety of Confucius's health bar. So let's just do this. And then why don't you potentially help out, but also potentially not move and save your charges. Yeah, there we go. Still might get agility out of this, though. But yeah, see, good thing I used the Dragon Shield, because got that flame ability right there. So. But keep an eye out for where ice can be used for a weakness hit, because there's at least 1 enemy in each enemy table on the first 4 floors and then on the floors after that, where ice is useful as a weakness element. So, that's a whole lot of mouths to burn me with, so let's see. What else do we have here? See, if I use flame, it would really only be hurting the fire moths, so... Although, it might not be a bad idea because of the fact that I can do... I can do this. No, because Null can just ice those guys to death. Basically, I would end up leaving the fire moths alive if I did... No, actually, I should do this, and then I should do this, because then that'll kill the fire moths and the lava worms. So you really got to think a little bit when you're doing this. You got to make sure that you Oh, the young dragons aren't resistant to fire. See, I was thinking that they were. Oh, well. Yeah, you really got to think in here to make sure that you not only conserve your resources, but also that you don't end up taking excessive amounts of damage and having to, you know, deal with that. I'm just going to skip right through that a little bit. There we go. Got them all. Perfect. Yeah, that was most likely because of the fact that we used Flame there, that we were able to get all of them, and because Null has, you know, 52 mana and Psychic Blast, so that all works. We'll do this, and then Yuumi, you can heal Confucius. There we go, perfect. And we're running out of charges on our other stuff there, but we're not quite there yet, so I'll use one of the elixirs that I have on Arya, just to free up a little space here. And what do we got in these two chests? Judo Throw and a Dragon Sword. So 2 things to sell, basically. So I believe the next floor is the basement 3rd floor? Yes, next floor is the basement 3rd floor. And, well, once we get there, we'll definitely be wanting to use a little bit of, I want to say a little bit of added discretion, but I don't know if that makes any sense, because it's like we're supposed to be using discretion this whole time. What do you mean? Do I want to use Flame? Yeah, I guess. Then I can use Thunder over here. And Psychic Blast again. Okay, well, Curse is kind of a pain in the butt, but that's okay. We have Curse Potions, so... Ow! Stop it. Yeah, that ain't gonna do you a whole lot of good, sir. Sorry. Of course, that's the only problem with Null having low agility, is that he goes last, so sometimes we take a whole lot of hits, but it's not too bad. Let's see. Let's go to this. I have the Curse Potion down here. There we go. But yeah, we won't have to worry about Curse once we get through the first few floors. Once we get down to like the 5th floor and stuff, they're just going to start straight out bashing us over the head with their the biggest damage that they have. So that'll be what we'll have to worry about, is them bashing us over the head, rather than having to worry about most status effects. I say most because Stone is going to be a big part of our lifetime while we're on the later floors here. So, okay, it is Samurai Bow time. There we go. And yeah, use Flame, and then you use Thunder, so that we're almost done with the Thunder books there. So, and then I got to use Psychic Blast because the Snowcats are resistant to ice. So, got to use that instead. Yeah, do that. Let it go while I drink. And the way that I'm planning on doing this, like I said, I'm planning on doing this in 2 go-aheads, basically. So, like, we're going to get through the first half-ish of the dungeon, and then I'll leave. And then, once I've left and come back, for the first 4 floors, once I leave and come back, we'll pretty much just be running from most battles, because we won't really see a huge chunk of benefits out of fighting the level 8 monsters once we start fighting the level 9 monsters on the basement 5th floor and on. Any benefit that we would get from fighting the level 8 monsters, we would just get flat out easier from the level 9 monsters, so... yeah. So we'll just ignore most enemies once we get out of here and then come back. I feel like I'm in a little bit more of mono-chill mode today, just because of the fact that I'm getting used to my sleep schedule again. Today's my last day of quote-unquote freedom before I go and start my vocational training. That starts tomorrow. And I need to do a 1-hour commute in order to get there, mostly because of the fact that it's wintertime. It's not really... it's usually like, 35-40 minutes to get there, but because it's wintertime, it's going to take longer to get there. So my commute is a little bit long, and that means I have to get up early to get there. And that can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But, it'll work out. But yeah, the reason why I'm more in chill mode today, I think, is because of the fact that I'm still tired from getting used to and adjusted to my sleep schedule there. So, yeah, that's part of it. Do I want to use the tent now? I think we're going to get another tent in a minute, because we're on the basement 3rd floor now, so we have... And you know what? I'm going to free up an item slot anyway because I can equip Thunder on Yuumi, and then I can equip Fire in a little bit as well. So, okay, so we probably don't need to worry about it just yet. And yeah, we will save it because we're on a new floor. And keep going. And same thing, pretty much want to take any side path that you see, because they probably have treasures at the end. Thanks, Conker. I will do the best I can. Yes, Adam, I have in fact prepared ahead of time for it, so that should help me out quite a bit. And hello, Adam, how you doing? Welcome. We are doing the Nasty Dungeon. So, do I want to use the Samurai Bow here? Because I won't kill the Answerers in this turn unless I use Psychic Blast. Which I guess I could. I'm just a little concerned for Confucius's health, though. If I do that. Because, well, see, the Answerers aren't really a big deal. They don't really do a whole lot, you know? They just kind of sit there and be tanky. So, maybe I just kill the Nightmares with the Samurai Bow. Then none of these enemies have AoE attacks for me to deal with, so... Yeah, we'll do it this way. We will do it this way! So that the... Oh, it's a preemptive strike anyway. I don't know what I'm worried about. I'm like trying to, you know, figure this thing out as if I wasn't getting a preemptive strike. What am I doing? But yeah, Psychic Blast rips right through the Answerers because they don't have any resistance to it. They have resistance to damage and change, but Psychic Blast is non-elemental, so... Yeah, ain't a whole lot they can do about that, so... Dragon Shield... we'll use Flame. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to want to use a 10 soon anyway, so... And then the Nightmares might live through this, because I don't think they're weak to ice. But, I mean, it's a preemptive strike, so no big deal. Doing good, waiting to make calls and schedule some stuff, going to study later. Nice. Hopefully everything gets scheduled for you as well as you need it to be. Oh, good. Noel just killed them flat out. Perfect. And Yuumi got mana up. More perfect. Yeah, hopefully everything gets scheduled the way that you want it. I know the feeling of having to make a whole bunch of calls and get a whole bunch of things scheduled, so... that worked so well last time, let's do it again, shall we? I'll do this to waste my Fire Book, and then Psychic Blast! There we go. Perfect. Take care of that. But yeah, see, that's all they really do, is they just kind of sit there and tank. Or they try to hit Arya and end up nowhere, basically, so... Yeah, whatever. Speaking of tank, there's a tank missile for us, or, you know, a tank gun, whatever the hell you want to call it. We are out of slots, and how are you doing on your Fire Book there, Yuumi? 2 uses left, okay. Well, we'll see what we can do there. Once she gets rid of the Cat Claw, too, we'll be in better shape, but the problem is that she has to use the Cat Claw to do it, and more often than not now, we're going to want everyone using AoEs, so I think this is a dead end, right? Yeah, this is the only dead end out of the whole thing. Been doing pretty good, Adam, just making my way through, enjoying my last day before I go back to, well, I'm saying go back, I'm almost saying it like go back to school. It's not really school, it's vocational training, but it almost reminds me of school in some ways, so. But yeah, enjoying my day, just getting everything done the way I wanted to. Been testing out mods for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim on my computer because I helped Cole mod his version of Skyrim on his computer and it just became contagious. So, yeah. So I've been doing some stuff, but other than that, not a whole lot. Just, you know, same stuff, different day. Okay. The next path, though, is a treasure, so I think. Did I miss something? No, I did not. It's right here. Okay, I was going to say, isn't this the stairs? But no, it's not the stairs, so. Good now, getting yourself a better sleep schedule as well since college starts next Monday. Oh, yeah, definitely want to get on a good sleep schedule then, because otherwise, yeah, that wouldn't go well for you otherwise, so. Get that modded Skyrim's always a treat, though. Yeah, especially when I, see, I tried to use a tree mod for my version. I says, well, you know, I'll just check and see if the tree mod actually works. problem with tree mods in Skyrim is that if you're using a tree mod, more often than not, it's going to drop your frame rate like a rock, because trees in Skyrim just don't like each other very much. And it did. It tanked my frame rate really badly. So I said, okay, I'm gonna see what I can do about this. But one of the better parts about doing modded Skyrim now, as opposed to when it first came out, was that a lot of the texture packs and stuff that are coming out now for Skyrim are UV mapped, which means that they're basically, instead of making new textures from scratch and tanking your frame rate, they are simply making more panels on an object for the textures to take up. And it's kind of technical, but basically what that means is, like, okay, so you have this tree in Skyrim, and it was stretched out, so the texture looks bad because it has to stretch across the entire tree. Well, instead of stretching it across the entire tree, they just said, okay, let's take that same texture and make it stretch across 4 different chunks of tree instead of one whole chunk of tree. And it makes the texture look a lot better because it's just in pieces, and it's seamlessly flush with one another. Like, all the pieces are flush with each other. So basically what I'm trying to say is I downloaded a texture pack, and some of the texture packs that are coming out now for Skyrim allow you to have better looking textures without having to suffer from performance loss, which is a big deal because performance loss and texture packs in Skyrim are like hand in hand. Anyway, I was shooting my mouth off while I was trying to take a drink. That's why I've been paused for a full minute and a half. Let's keep moving, and I'll talk while we walk, shall I? Actually, I need to do something about what I've got in my inventory here, because we're about to get some treasure here. Let's use the tent, because why the heck not? We'll free up a slot, and everybody will be at full health and full uses, so that'll be good. I mean, I know we were pretty close to full anyway, but might as well. There's a missile for us, and there are 2 more treasures on this floor. So I guess I'll go try to get my fire book out of the way by the time we get to them. But, well, no promises there. Actually, this might work okay, because this is a first strike, and I should be able to use my... yeah, I should be able to use my fire book here on the adamantoises. And maybe I'll even use... No, I'll use ice on the demons, that's fine. The demons might live, because, yeah, strong against flame, but should be able to take care of the adamantoises, yep. Even if they live, though, I mean, okay, well, they didn't live, never mind. I was gonna say, even if they live, it's not a huge deal, though, because, like, next turn I can just take them out right away, so. Oh, there's the treasure. And now I gotta walk back and forth for a second, because I need to use fire in this particular battle, actually. We gotta strike first, that helps immensely. Why don't we do this? We'll use the fire book here, and then Psychic Blast. Yeah, it's like artificially increasing the res of the textures without actually doing so. Yes, that's exactly correct. It's using tricks that I don't know if it wasn't available before in Skyrim or people just didn't think to do it, but it's using like graphical tricks to make it look better without actually creating new textures from scratch. So it's using what already exists in the game, to make things look better than they actually do. So it's pretty cool. I like it because it makes my game look a lot better. Oh good, I got warning. As if I needed that. Okay, so now we have another slot because we can stick the fire book right here. I might honestly want to get an ice book because I don't know if I'll end up using this whole fire book. Well, maybe I will by the time I'm done because once we get off these first 4 floors, the enemies start opening up their resistances to fire, so. Let's see. Been working on sleeping better too, sleeping early and waking early to deal with the day. Right, yes, that makes sense. Going to bed early and then getting up early so that you're ready to face everything. Makes sense to me. It's what I gotta do as well, so I totally understand that. There's another tent for us. Okay. I'm probably gonna want to save that tent though, because it'll come in handy later. That's meant to be your first checkpoint here, basically, is this section. So if you wanted to leave the dungeon and come back, you could technically do so right now. And I don't know, I might, honestly, because we're good on resources. It's just, we didn't get a preemptive strike, right? I don't know if those, I think they can use fire. I think those demons can use fire, so I'm gonna treat them like they can use fire and just use other things besides that for myself. And we'll use the ice book because inventory management. But that's the interesting part about this dungeon, I think. I think one of the most interesting parts about it is that they make it difficult without just throwing more enemies at you. I mean, they do eventually start throwing more enemies at you there, but in addition to just throwing more enemies at you there, they add another element to the dungeon, and that other element is, well, we only have 16 inventory slots. If you want all of the primo stuff that's in here, you're going to have to do some inventory management in order to get out of here. I think some people don't like that as a concept, but I enjoy it because it adds another layer to it, you know what I mean? So, all right, let's use this elixir and see what's in chest number 4 for this floor. A dragon helmet. So this I want to keep because we're going to be using that for another 5th party member that we get in a little while. Eventually we're going to get a 5th party member that's going to stay with us for basically the rest of the game. So I want to save some equipment for that person once we get that far. We're not there yet, but we will be. Let's use flame. We'll use fire because we can, and we'll use ice because I need to manage my inventory a little bit. Alright, let's see. It's a good thing I used that dragon shield because that gas would have hurt Confucius quite a bit. Ow, like that. But yeah, can you imagine not having access to like elemental resistance here when you've got all of these things here? Like all of those Adamantoises could have used gas, and if you didn't have elemental protection from before, everybody in your party would be dead. Like no question, because it kills. It does like 250 damage to whoever it hits that doesn't have resistances. There's no way you can live through 6 of those. So yeah, definitely want to make your preparations before you come in here because this place will kick your ass if you're not careful. So, you know, incidentally, since I have warning on null, I could live dangerously and put thunder in the 4th slot and then just have Confucius eat Catwoman meat. I actually am not sure what we would end up with if that happens, but it would save me a little bit of time because basically I need to do 2 transformations almost back to back when we get to the next world after the Nasty Dungeon because and one of the transformations I'm going to need Catwoman meat for, so I might actually do that. Not sure yet, but I might. How about the Dragon Shield? Because there's like 5 nightmares over there, and that is a nightmare that I don't want to deal with. It's actually several nightmares that I don't want to deal with, and then Psychic Blast. College hours are going to be 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays, 12 to 6 Wednesdays, and 12 to 3 Fridays. So even though I don't necessarily need to wake up extra early, still need to see and set up for the online meetings. That makes sense, Conquer. Yeah, might as well be ready so that way you can, you know. That way you got a little bit of time for yourself, even if you don't end up with, even if you don't have to get up early to get there early, you know. Give yourself a little time in the morning. It's always nice. Give you a chance to relax your brain, you know, so you're not just waking up and going immediately. So, yeah, we'll use the fire book because I can. And then we'll use the ice book over here. Actually, those Catwomen might live. Because I don't think Yumi has quite enough damage, yeah, to kill them just yet. They've got a decent chunk of HP, too. They've probably got about 500, so... But, I mean, I have the Samurai Bow, so no big deal. And I have Flame. Wonder who's going to go first in that particular case. I should use the Cat Claw, actually. Well, you know what? I should do this. So I have a chance to actually use the Cat Claw. There we go. Because, again, you got to manage your inventory a little bit in here. It's part of the game, and if I get a chance, I might as well. Okay, I'm actually going to check and see what I get if I transform now from Chimera into whatever this Catwoman meat gives me. So let me go get my calculator, and I'll be right back. Also gives me a chance to look at what I can get from the treasure chest coming up. It's good stuff. Let's see, this one. Alright, so we are Chimera, which is this one and this one. What happens if I eat Catwoman meat? Evil Pine. That is a gross monster that I do not want. Okay. We would go, so if I did in fact use this Catwoman meat, we would go down to a monster that has like 400 HP and like 40s in stats, and I don't really think that's a good idea. So we're not going to do that. We'll just wait until we get to the next boss monster meet, and then we'll use that instead. Our sound manager, mindful of changes, probably trip you up a bit. Calculators, my Final Fantasy game. Haven't I need one of that in that regard since War of the Lions. Yeah, there's a particular... The way that monster tables work in this game is that all monsters fall into three types: A-type monsters, B-type monsters, and C-type monsters. A are generally the weaker ones, C are the stronger ones, B's in the middle. But there's like a bunch of different classes of monsters as well. So, and each meat that you eat will change you to a different class of monster in a different group, depending on which one you ate. So there's a calculator online that lets you look up what you would be, so you don't have to like have a table on like a piece of paper or something with all the different monsters on it that you could then reference later and be like, okay, so I would turn into this if I did this. It's like, you don't even need that. You could just go from there. And you don't gotta worry about it, which is, oh, excuse me, rather nice. I'm gonna use the Dragon Shield because I'm afraid of gas. Gas is not cool to me. And then, yeah, we can use Thunder. Those dinosaurs might live. So, maybe they'll live. Just depends on how much damage the Mage's Staff does. No, they will not live. Never mind. Sorry, Noel. Well, but Yumi got mana up, so that's good. I just want to double check and see where we are in that regard. We've got 53, and we've got 42. Okay, yeah, like I said, we're doing pretty good in that department. And I mean, we have 200,000 gold now, so... Excuse me. We're good in that department, too. Let's see. Since I'm not going to be needing... You know, I could use Flame and then Psychic Blast so that I have the chance to use the Cat Claw. I might do that, actually. Use Flame, because I can recharge that, use the Cat Claw, and then use Psychic Blast! 2 to 6 chunks on Mondays and Wednesdays are the ones with the professor that you know is pretty relaxed with their classes, so it won't be that bad. That's good. That's good, then. Wednesday 12-2 meeting, on the other hand, is going to be annoying ones. Tends to go overtime for basically no reason. Fantastic! They do know you have other classes, right? Like, oh, boy. Well, sometimes professors will do that, and there ain't a whole lot you can do about it. Okay, so we're on the basement 4th floor now, and we have no room, right? I mean, I have a tent that I could use, but other than that, we don't really have a whole lot of room for anything. So do I leave or do I keep going? Because there's a couple of things on this floor that are particularly nice that I would like to get. Basically, I would be equipping them instead of something in Aria's inventory, but the problem is I don't know where I would stick them if I didn't... If I used my current inventory. So we may just Pegasus out of here, honestly. We might end up Pegasusing twice. Because there will be... Let's see. This floor, we're going to... If we Pegasus out now, this floor has 5 items on it. And then I think the following floor has 4. So... Well, I know we're going to Pegasus out now. Because, like I said, this was a lot. We've got a lot as it is, so... Where do we want to go? I might go to the second town, just because they sell extra books if you need them for like spells like Ice and Thunder. And really, I might even get an Ice book for Yumi, just because the fire... I mean, we have the Mage's Staff if we need fire, and we have Flame, so... I might just equip that instead, an Ice book. Because we have... It's not like we don't have the money to buy it at this point, you know? Like I said, once we're done with this dungeon, we're going to be swimming in it, so... Alright, but anyway, let's sell some stuff, and then we'll be swimming in it just as it is. Like I said, though, keep the dragon helmet because it will be useful. I think we get another one later as well, but we'll just sell that one. Let's see. Love it when that happens. That was your geometry class all of 10th grade. Fantastic. Yeah, and it's also annoying. It's annoying no matter where it happens, but it's like, in high school, I felt that too, because if classes went overtime, it's like, you guys know that I only have 4 minutes to go from this side of the school to the other side of the school and up like 3 floors, right? Like, come on now. I don't have time for this. Okay, we don't need the missile. We don't need judo. I'm going to keep the ice book for Null. I'll probably buy another one. Don't need the tank missile. We'll keep the tent and the heal staff. Don't need the dragon armor. Don't need the ogre axe. Going to keep the cat claw. Don't need the Vulcan cannon. Don't need the dragon sword. And that's that. Okay, so let's get... See, as you can see, we're swimming in money now, so like we don't even have to... Don't even worry about it. If you need to buy something, buy it. Like, you'll be fine on money. So yeah, I'm gonna stick the ice book here for Yumi so that she has something to do there. Cat Claw pretty soon. I'll give her the heal staff once the mage's staff runs out, so then I'll save a little bit of inventory there too. Stick this here. Stick this here. Bring the Cat Claw up as well. Let's see. Probably stick this up here. And stick that there. Stick this here. Yeah, we'll leave that there. And then we'll use the, or we'll sell the firebook, because we won't need it, I don't think. Might as well use the ice book, because like I said, less enemies have resistance to it, so. And I think that's it. I don't think we need to do any other prep work, so we can just Pegasus right back and keep going. As if nothing even happened. And like I said, I'll probably just blast right through the 4th floor. We'll just run from everything on the way, because we don't really need to worry about all of that stuff, so. It's an almost weekly inter-club meeting for all active clubs. The club you're in is an active one. Most of the programmers and graphic designers' numbers aren't that high anymore. Representative for the club. Oh, okay, gotcha. So that might be part of why it goes overtime, is because all of the clubs have to meet at the same time, so it might, you know, make it so that everybody has to get their say in and all of that, so that might take a little bit. I get you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 free slots. Okay. And we should be able to get through the next 2 floors with that kind of free slots. Okay. Like I said, this place demands a little bit of inventory management of you. Okay, part 2, round 2 fight. Fast forward our way back through. Like I said, I'll probably just run from everything because we've got enough agility now to where I don't anticipate us ever having to worry about not being able to run from something, especially when we strike first like this. So. And yeah, I mean, we could get some stats out of this, but why? It really isn't necessary. Like, we've already, like I said before, if you get above 50 in whatever stat you're working on, you're probably fine for the remainder of the game. And, I mean, Yumi's almost there at the moment. Null is there at the moment, so, like, I don't... We've fought these battles before. I'm not worried about it. So, yeah, this is... I think this is the way that... a lot of people don't do the Nasty Dungeon, though, because a lot of people are like, well, you know, I gotta do it all in one go, and it's like, you just got a teleportation magi. I know you have to leave the dungeon and come back if you do that, but it's like, if you can run from battles like this, and you have surprise or warning or anything like that, then you're fine. I know that's specific, you know, I know I'm saying it like, well, you know, just get surprise and warning and, you know, have agility forehead. Like, it's not, you know, not somewhat difficult to micromanage yourself to that point, but, yeah, I don't know, it just... I feel like people make this place out to be worse than it actually is, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's manageable if you do it in chunks like this, you know, it's this, you're not doing it all at once, because your resources... I mean, they might last, but they probably won't, so... That being said, the encounter rate will occasionally spike, and you'll get, you know, 4 encounters in 5 steps and that sort of stuff, so... Like I said, the meeting tends to drag out basically no reason because someone asked a question that was just answered. Ah, yes, I love when that happens. That's my favorite! Can you detect the sarcasm? Because there's a lot of sarcasm there. Alright, we're back where we were. Awesome. Let's save again. Yeah, as you can see, my save counter is wrapped around again. It's back into the single digits, even though I was just up at the 90s, so... Okay! Slow going again. First things first, there's like 4 treasure chests below me, but there's also a treasure chest above me that I think I'm going to go grab first, so... How do I want to do this one? Yeah, we'll just do that, I guess. Well, actually, we'll do it this way. Of course, I got rid of the fire book, and now... now there's an enemy that's weak to fire here, of course. If I use the mage's staff, will that just kill everything? Probably. Well, you know, we're going to do it this way. The Wraith might live, but I mean, I think we got a preemptive strike, so yeah, we did. So I don't care. Got to use that cat claw up. And now we just finish him off. Perfect. I don't need that. This is a really solid place to get monster meat if you need to get your monsters up to, you know, halfway decent point. These monsters aren't quite at the level of the Watcher that we fought back in the Dragon Races, but if you're looking for meat that is at the same level as the Watcher, don't worry. You'll get your wish in about one floor. So, yeah, that'll do us some good. How do I want to do this? Because last time the Wraith was alive. I want these guys to be dead at the end of the turn. So maybe I do this. And then this. And this. And Psychic Blast! And that'll do it. Don't even think. Just Psychic Blast. And then everything dies. I mean, that is basically the gist of it. Is you just Psychic Blast and everything dies, but... Okay, so we'll go up first, and then we'll go down. After we're done. Oh, good. I love this happening. Just hop up the ledges, up and down, and up and down, and up and down. Was this really necessary, developers? Did you need to do this? Were you just flexing your muscles at this point, or what? Anyway, we get a Muramasa from this chest. That is the same weapon that Taro had in the previous world. So it will deal good damage against human enemies, but I don't think there are any human enemies in here, so you really can't take advantage of it until later. Most human enemies from now on really aren't going to be bugging us. Like, I don't think we fight any human enemies again even until the last world, so... Okay, normally I'd be a little bit miffed about Arya missing with the laser sword there, but it did give Yumi a chance to gain agility, and she actually got it, so that's actually fine by me. So, she's doing pretty good. Got 49 agility, effective 54 once she gets her ultimate armor. Null has, well, his mana isn't going to change when he gets his ultimate armor, because the mana that's, or the ultimate armor doesn't change mana, so. Okay, so we'll do the same thing we did before, which was don't think, just Psychic Blast. If they're going to give me the opportunity to use up this Cat Claw, then I'm going to use it. So. Now, as far as using up the tent that you have goes, you have to make it through the basement 4th floor and 5th floor, and most of the basement 6th floor before you get your next checkpoint, before you get your next tent. So just keep that in mind as you're going through. Oh good, I got Circle Poison again. But yeah, just keep that in mind as you're going through. You're going to need to use up your resources to get yourself about there before you can use the tent again. So they are giving me a good opportunity to use up these Cat Claws, though. So I'll tell you what. I do want to kind of save my Psychic Blast if I can for more interesting and difficult battles, but excuse me, I'll have the chance to do that in a minute anyway when I finish up using the Cat Claw. So, and more agility. Perfect. Let's see, there's 2 chests this way and 2 chests the other way, so just take your pick. We'll get all of them, but take your pick. There's a Wizard Staff. I believe you can use that for a chance to instantly kill all the enemies on the field, but yeah, I don't particularly find it all that useful myself, so I usually just sell it. It's para-elemental anyway, so it's not really going to be all that useful to my taste. I mean, again, you could use it if you had high enough mana, but anything that's resistant to para would not take anything from it, so it's like, eh. See, now Yumi's gaining all the HP. She was holding out on me for a minute there, but now she's gaining all the HP that I was hoping she would get. 23 on your cure book. What about yours? Okay, so we'll leave Yumi's HP slightly less than max. It's fine. Yeah, this part is a bit of a doozy. It takes a little bit of wandering around to make sure you get everything you want, so... I just Thunder. I don't think they're weak to ice, if I remember right. I think they just die. Ha! No burning for you! And more agility. And we can equip that Cat Claw now. Perfect. So now Yumi can start attacking with the other stuff that she's got. And we save an inventory slot, which is perfect. Yeah, like I said, you want to try to save up on these inventory slots where you can. You gotta micromanage a little bit, just to make sure you have enough room for everything that you want. Of course, the other stuff that we're going to be getting on this floor is going to make... we're not going to have it in our inventory for very long, because I'm going to be equipping that stuff. Case in point, the Self-Fix that we just got from that chest. So, unfortunately, the Self-Fix does not give defense to Arya, so goodbye 94 defense, I knew ye well. But, here's what it does do. In place of all of that defense, it actually repairs 10% of Arya's HP at the end of each turn. So she'll get back a solid 72 HP at the end of each turn, which is really nice for robots. It's almost like the recover skill that some monsters might have. Like you may have seen the Catwomen and the werewolf type enemies to this point saying that they recover HP at the end of the turn. It's the exact same thing except for a robot. So I'm going to use it because it's very good. Again, it gives her less defense, but it gives her more HP, so now she'll recover 76 HP at the end of each turn. And really, Arya's armor is almost done at this point. I will be getting another piece of body armor that I'm going to be equipping on the next floor in place of the dragon armor, just to give the dragon shield a little bit more use. Yeah, we won't need to worry about that for a little bit yet. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the Dragon Helmet, if you equip that, it gives you Circle Change, which prevents... Or no, Circle Para, excuse me. It gives you Circle Para. So any, like, instant death attacks, paralysis, sleep, that sort of stuff, it doesn't work on you anymore, basically. Do I use the Mage's Staff up now? No, I think I'm going to save it, because in the next floor it's going to come in really handy, so... And Null, if you get HP out of this, I'd be okay with that. But if you didn't, I would be fine with it too. Yeah, just keep using that laser sword because, again, we're going to be getting more equipment for Arya that will allow us to replace that. You can start to notice that the devs started to be less creative with the mobs. They started to become more derivative. Yeah, I can see it, Ghost Hand. In these particular cases, like in the Nasty Dungeon, I think when you get to this point, they primarily said, okay, so let's just give the mobs a bunch of AoE abilities. I think it works okay, because that means you have to properly prepare in order to come in here. But you could make the argument, I think, yeah, that it got a little bit lazy, because it's just like, okay, well, when all else fails, spam AoEs, you know what I mean? Which, I mean, to be fair, that's the strategy I'm going to use in a few minutes, but... Yeah, I can see your point, though. And hello, Ghost Hand, how you doing? We are about halfway through the Nasty Dungeon, so hope you will join us as we move right along here. Did I get a preemptive strike? I didn't see. Well, if I didn't, I might get blasted with flame, but, you know. Okay, stunner, big deal. I got you. There we go. Gonna try to save that laser that Yumi has equipped if I can, just because it's pretty good. It hits pretty hard. And it ignores defense, so that'll be nice for her later. Yeah, I don't think I use flame here either, because I can just do... So it's going to look dumb, but I'm going to use thunder because I want Null to get a turn, and then I'm going to use ice. And I know that means that the dinosaurs have a chance to attack me, but ideally, they mostly attack Arya. Ow. Okay, well, we'll have to heal that, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely gonna need to heal that. No, why don't you heal yourself there, buddy? There we go. And you have 23 left as well? Yeah, well, we might as well top you off since, you know, there we go. So yeah, I mean, you can see in some cases where the enemies start to get a little, because like nightmares, fire moths, lava worms, young dragons, they all have flame, right? They all have the very similar attacks and very similar things they do to you. So you can see where they get a little derivative, but I mean, I'm kind of okay with it, personally. It's not really a huge deal for me. I don't want to do this. I'm going to use the dragon shield so that I have a chance to use Ice with Null. Give him a chance to actually get a turn, you know? Especially Preemptive Strike, you gotta take advantage of those where you can. So, even if you don't get stats, it's just the chance of getting it, you know? There's a Defender Sword. I mean, if you want to, you can use it. It's another strength weapon, so. And here's another Samurai Bow, and we know where that's going. Alright, Arya, here you go. These are all of the weapons. So your weapons from this point will be good for the remainder of the game, so there you go. 83 agility, 816 HP. She's pretty much good. Like I said before, we're going to get another piece of armor that we're going to replace the dragon armor with in a little while, but her weapons are solid for the remainder of the game, and she's got plenty of agility to abuse them, so she's got 30, basically a 30 use. It's almost like, what would be the equivalent there? I don't even know what the equivalent would be. It'd be like a 30 use prayer, except it's not just on undead enemies. It works on everything. So, but she's got a 30 use samurai bow. That's the gist of it. And 30 uses of the samurai bow will 110% help us quite a bit. So, yes, nice, very nice. Is Null gonna get a turn? Maybe not. Well, just in case, we'll use Thunder. Yeah, actually, that'll work. And I normally, like I said, normally not happy when you miss something, but if it means that Null gets a turn, I'm okay with it, because any little chance that he'll have to get some more mana, I'm okay with that. He doesn't need it, again, but hey, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna look at Gift Horse in the mouth. If they're gonna give me more mana, then I'm gonna take more mana. Okay, so I guess we'll use the laser because yeah, they can't really use the samurai bow here, or else everything will die. So we'll just do it this way, and then we'll do that. Beams. So yeah, the beam skill is back with the laser, but not quite, but close enough. Okay, so now let's move to the 5th basement floor. After that, it's the 5th floor, the 6th floor, and the 7th floor, and we're actually done with the dungeon. But I know we have a solid hour left before we're done. It will probably take that long. The next 3 floors are a mess. Oh, lordy. Here we go. I'm surprised that killed, actually. Usually those Catwomen have more HP than that, but oh well. Okay, so mess floor number 1. Let me see here. I'm just gonna take this laser and I'm just gonna toss it, just to save the inventory space, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4 open slots, and there are 4 chests on this floor, of which a few of them I'm going to. Am I gonna equip any of them? Sorry, I'm trying to look, because the fancy high quality maps that I was talking about before that are on GameFAQs for this game, they also show like what the weapons and everything else that you get are. Let me go look, actually. Let's see. Gonna equip that, and that, and that, and not that. Okay. So we're gonna be equipping a good chunk of the things that we get there. Although, one of the things... Hang on, let me get back to the mic. We're gonna be equipping most of the things we get on this floor. But one of the things that we're gonna equip will actually cause us to remove 2 pieces of armor, so it might not be very helpful in terms of our inventory management. And here's the reason why this floor is a bit of a mess, is because of the fact that you're going to start fighting level 9 monsters, including one of our own monsters. We're fighting a Chimera, 4 of them, frankly, actually, along with 3 dragons. So, yeah, it can get a little hectic here. Don't want a Psychic Blast? I kind of want a Psychic Blast. I'm going to Psychic Blast. Because these dragons are resistant to flame, so... Chimeras are not, but, I mean, what can they do? They have 3 heads, but, it'll be okay, I think. Okay, that should, okay, that did not take care of the dragons. Okay, well, there you go, they used 3 heads, but they used it on Arya, so it's fine. If they use it on anybody else, well, goodbye, but, you know. So yeah, level 9 monsters, and they can and will kick your ass, so just be careful, be mindful, and heal up when you need it, because if you're not topped off on HP after each battle, you might have some problems here, so... Okay, but let's keep going. A few more things for us to get, and then we'll be good to go. I might actually Pegasus out again after we're done on this floor, just because our supplies might be running a little low, and then it might be a good idea. Actually, I'm going to use this on the dragons. They're the most dangerous threat here. But yeah, our supplies might be running a little low at that point, and I will definitely want to make sure I have enough room for everything. I didn't see if we got a preemptive strike here. Well, this doesn't matter too much. I think the Tengus can use Thunder or something. I remember them being able to use some fancy magical attack, but I don't think they usually use it, so... But to be fair, we should be okay. Yeah, we're good. Just use that ice, because again, ice is nice. You know what else is nice is Cure. We will probably use up the entirety of these Cure books by the time we are done here. That's why I wanted them, because I knew that we would have plenty of use for them. Oh good, this battle again. Dragon Shield. Do I want to just hit the dragons with 3 heads? Yeah, I might as well. Or actually, no, I want to use Flame, because here's what I can do. I can do this, and then I can do this, and I might be able to kill the dragons with just that. I know I'll be able to kill the chimeras, at the very least. Yeah, that ain't gonna help you, friend. Yeah, gotta be a little careful because, well, obviously you don't want to get blasted by flame, especially when a lot of the enemies have access to it. And, you know, even if it's not flame, it could be gas. Later on in the dungeon, a lot of the enemies start gaining access to the gas skill, like the Adamantoises do, so... Gotta be a little careful. Things are not easy from here on out. Even when we can kill an entire group at will with the samurai bow, things are not easy. So, this is the part that it's not hyped up by people to be, you know, worse than it actually is. This part is as bad as everyone says it is. So, don't let anybody get it twisted. This part is as bad as everyone says it is. I'm just gonna use I'm just gonna spread all of the AoE attacks out now. Ow! What the hell? Let's get a quick hit in, huh? Well, they killed Confucius, but that's okay. Bah! Just take care of the rest of them. Gotta be careful with those sorcerers. They're not nice. So. Okay, I mean, that's not a bad skill, actually. Touch is exactly the same as it was for, like, your, when monsters use it. It drains HP. It has para-elemental HP draining effects. And the only problem and it ignores defense, which is also nice, but the only problem is that it's single target, so I really don't think I'll use it all that much, honestly. It's not really... It's good, but it's not as good as the other stuff that we have at the moment. Again, just looking for Cure still. Once I get Cure, I can just get rid of everything else. I don't need anything else, so... Yes, that's pretty much it, Adam. This is the part where the game cheeses as much as the player does. But again, the rewards are worth it. Look at how much money we're getting, so... To be fair, the enemies that we're fighting at this point are a little harder than you're expected to be able to fight at this point. Like the next world, you won't fight any level 9 enemies whatsoever. You'll only fight level 8 enemies. So you're not actually expected to be fighting any of these level 9 enemies until basically the final world, which is the world after the next one. So yeah, they're not expecting you to fight all these guys just yet, but it'll happen, so. You guys can do nothing. That's actually perfect for me, because that means I can just zap you, and Noel gets a turn with no repercussions to my HP whatsoever. It's all around pretty good. Okay, so the there's a treasure chest above me. You have to go to the left to get to it. And the next floor is also to my left. But I'm going to go down first because there are a few things that I want to get down there. So, yeah, it's just too bad that the mage's staff and everything is fire elemental and all these enemies are resistant to it by this point in the dungeon. It would be nice if they were not, but I mean, you know, it'll happen. You know what I could do is I could Psychic Blast and I could just ice the dragons. Because the flame plus the Psychic Blast will kill the chimeras, but the ice and the Psychic Blast will kill the chimeras. Or not the chimeras, the dragons, excuse me. I said chimeras twice. I'm tired. Ow. Quit it. Stop it. Stop it. That's it. Stopping it myself. Bah. Was waiting for me to get a turn again so I could say that. There we go. Yeah, we could use the HP there, Yumi. After what we just went through, we could use the HP. Why don't you heal Confucius? And no, why don't you heal Yumi? Because you should be able to almost, max her out there. Yeah, I'm going to top her off. It is just that important to keep your HP as close to maximum as you can here, so... I don't think I'm going to save just yet, though. I think we'll do what we've been doing, which is I'll only save when I get to a new floor. We'll live a little dangerous. Speaking of living dangerously, 6 Watchers and 3 Cockatrices. Oh my god. So, these can stone you. These can paralyze you and also use that beam ability that I was talking about before that was so good. This is bad. And this is only the beginning of these sorts of encounters because these will be commonplace fairly soon. No, I don't think you're going to get a turn, buddy. I'm sorry. I would love to give you a turn, but like those things are too dangerous and I could get stoned like that. So, okay, Noel did get a turn. That's only because Yumi got stoned, but that's okay. This is why we brought the soft potions. Because that can happen a lot. So... yes, the Chocobos have come for Confucius. How dare you not use your natural form, you heathen! You're stuck as a griffin, so we will murder you so that you can never represent your kind again. Okay, there's a Saigon. That's pretty cool. And a Parasuit. So you may remember the Power Suit from the first game. It cost 100,000 gold to get, but it was very powerful. The Parasuit is incredibly similar. It is really strong, and it gives you resistances to most elements, but it takes up all armor slots, so you have to take off anything else that you're using, like the dragon armor that we've got here. Do I even have an empty slot? I do. Okay. Can I do this, though? I can. Okay, cool. But yeah, as you can see, quite a bit more powerful. Gave Yumi a bunch more strength, a bunch more agility. Her mana is still where it is, but 73 defense, that's nothing to scoff at, so it's quite nice. We don't have room for the next thing that we can get, though, so now I gotta kind of be a little more stingy with what I've got here. Although, we do now have room for her to equip the heal staff, so that's nice. I'll do that right there. There we go. Let's switch it around a little bit, though. So that way I've got a free slot for the last item on this floor, which we're going to be getting in about 2 seconds. Noel doesn't get a Parasuit just yet, but not to worry. There is another Parasuit in the game. We just won't get it for a little while, that's all. But he's in the back row. He'll be fine. He doesn't need it that badly. Yeah, caught me with my foot in my mouth, pretty much, yes. Did we get anything else that was interesting there? I guess we got a Vampix sword, which isn't too bad. It's similar to the Vampix sword in the first game. It's got pretty good stats on it, but yeah, nothing I care about. I'd like to say the Saigon, though. So the Dragon Helmet and the Saigon will both come in handy later. The Saigon behaves like a laser, except it uses your mana stat to calculate how much damage it deals instead of just dealing fixed damage. So it's really nice for somebody who happens to have a decent chunk of agility and also a decent chunk of mana. You know, this lady right here. So she'll be using it later. But, yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so now you could just... I think those were the stairs to the next floor that we just saw on the map right there. We got to get there first. And that is a tall order. So, who would live through what I just did there. Maybe the Nagas? Maybe the Nagas. I'm going to target the Nagas and pretend like I know that they're going to live. So. Oof, death. That wouldn't have been good. Ow. I mean, it's para-elemental, so it's not really anything bad either, but, you know. Okay, well, the Nagas did live, but so did the Sorcerers, which is not exactly preferable. But stone is itself... actually, I don't think we have stone immunity at the moment, even with the Dragon Shield and everything. Like, I think stone would still actually do something bad to us, so... We'll fix that for Arya only in a minute, but yeah, until that point, we gotta make do without it. So I should have used touch. Oh well. I mean, it's not like Noel's gonna get a turn, so. All right, back to this then. We'll heal again. You used your thing last turn, so. Last time, I think Yuumi has 17 and Noel has 17 now, so. Oh, good. This again. Get used to this. I don't want to do this. I just want to... See, the cockatrices aren't too terrible, though. Like, I'm making them out to be really bad, but they're really not all that bad. Petrify is a physical attack, so, I mean, as long as Arya doesn't get hit by it too badly, we should be okay. Keyword is should. And they mostly are kind of similar in a way to the Answerers that you fight, because the Answerers, when you fight them, have... Okay, so Confucius was turned to stone, big deal. But you see all of these times that they're using... Cockatrice is waiting for the attack, right? They're using the Stone Skin ability, and what happens is if you hit them with a physical attack, they'll counter by stoning you. But we're not using physical attacks at this point. We're pretty much exclusively using magic attacks, unless we're using, like, 3 heads or something. But you probably don't want to be using that in a battle with cockatrices anyway, because you need to use your AoEs, so... So yeah, it's not too bad. I'm making them sound like they're a lot worse than they actually are, but I mean, I guess if they stoned all of us, it would be bad, but usually they don't get the chance, so it's not too bad. Yeah, this worked out last time. The Nagas lived. And I'm going to use the Mage's Staff again. I guess I'm just going to Psychic Blast. We have a tent, so I'm not really too worried. Because, like, the next tent that we're going to be getting is on the next floor, so... And actually, if we need it, we can go get it early, but I'd rather not, so... Miss old first-person style dungeon crawlers akin to Daggerfall, Etrian Odyssey, and the OG Shin Megami Tensei. Some old Final Fantasy games evoke this lost feeling. Yeah, I get that feeling from the Nasty Dungeon a lot, actually. That kind of, like... In this particular dungeon, it feels like you're kind of stuck in this, like... You're not really sure exactly where you need to go, but the dungeon is incredibly long, and sometimes your resources run out. It's a challenge, you know, that you don't normally get out of a lot of games, and it invokes that sense of these twisting, winding hallways to places you would never even imagine, you know what I mean? So I understand the feeling, because I get that sense from it, too. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Excuse me. I'm going to switch Yuumi to the second slot, because Confucius is doing okay, but Yumi's got more HP and more defense now, so I think it's probably better to just keep her up here. I think eventually Confucius is going to end up in the 4th slot, actually, because once Noel gets the second parasuit, Confucius is going to have a lot less defense than everybody else, unfortunately. It's not going to be a huge deal for him, but yeah, he could be better off. Okay, so there's the Arthur armor, which is the last piece of armor that Arya is going to get, and after this point, Arya doesn't need anything else. She's good for the remainder of the game. She has everything she needs. She's got all the HP, all the defense, all the agility. She's got the self-fix. This is her final setup right here. So she's good. Nasty Dungeon has fully prepped her for the areas to come. Now the real question is, what do we get on the next floors? And will I have enough inventory space to actually warrant being able to get all of that? Let me go look at what the treasures are on the next floors real quick. Before we move on, just in case I want to Pegasus out again, I guess I could do that. Let's see. So, sell item. I can equip that. Another tent. 1, 2 things to sell. Probably 3 things to sell. I can use that right there. 3 things to sell. 3 things to sell, 2 of which are on the next floor. 1 thing to keep. And the rest I'll end up using. That's a toughie. You know what I could do? I'm going to keep the soft potions for now. But there's only 2 uses left on this. If I run out of inventory space to where I'm going to need these, I'll just get rid of one of them. Actually, no, let's leave that there. Because we're almost out of ice books on Noel as well, so that'll save us an inventory slot. The rest of this stuff, I mean, I can throw out the giant gauntlets, I can throw out dragon armors if I need to. Most of the other stuff sells for a lot more than that, so yeah, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, you're all kitted out, are ya? We'll make it work. The Arthur armor, incidentally, also gives her stone resistance, so if you were having any trouble getting stoned before this, well, you won't have to worry about that anymore because Arya doesn't have to concern herself with that anymore. Do I just go balls to the wall and kill these things before they become a problem, or do I use the dragon shield? There's 11 enemies. I think it's better if I use the dragon shield. I keep wanting to live dangerously and then just saying, no, it's probably better that I don't. I should probably stop using Psychic Blast and start using the Ice Book, though. So that way I can save on inventory. Or, you know what I could do is I could just throw out the one that I have that's got 8 uses left on it and just use the fresh one. But yeah, as you can see there, we were taking, we would have taken like 200 damage from that nail attack previously. Now it only does 70-something. Not only does the parasuit have ridiculous defense, it also gives you circle weapon as a part of its many resistances. So yeah, you don't got anything to worry about. If you have a parasuit on, you're human or you're mutant, you got nothing to worry about. It is really good for your robot as well because it gives them elemental protection along with a few other boosts, but I find that it's honestly just more useful for humans and mutants. It gives your robot more HP than anything else in the game, and it gives them more defense, but I mean, I have 84 defense and 83 agility as it is, so like I got 850 HP as it is. I don't really need any more than that. I'll tell you what I do need, though. I need Noel to stop dying. Do I use the heal staff here? No, I might as well use the cure books. Because that's what they're here for, single target healing. There we go, perfect. So Noel's still taking a little bit of extra damage, but I mean, what can you do, right? We only got 1 parasuit to go around. We'll just make it work. Okay, so that's 1 out of 3 deadly floors taken care of. We're on the 6th floor now, and yeah, it's gonna get tricky. It's still it's tricky as it is, but it's still going to be a little more tricky from here. Let me see. So I'm going to need some inventory slots. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what I said. I'm going to take off the ice book that I have, and I'm going to stick the fresh ice book here. We'll probably run through the whole thing by the time we're done with the dungeon, but that's fine. I don't even care if that's the case. Let's take our items. We'll take this ice book, and we'll knock it right out of the park here. I don't know, I personally find this to be very interesting, like this challenge of having to micromanage your inventory. I know not a lot of people probably like that all that much, but I think it's interesting because it adds a new layer to the game that wasn't present before, or at least that you really wouldn't have run into before. In the first game, you only had 8 inventory slots, so it was a constant struggle for your inventory, but in this game, because of the fact that you have 16 slots and there's not a whole huge chunk of treasure chests any particular place, you never ran into this problem until now. So I don't know, I like it. I don't really think a lot of people would agree with me, but I like it, so. And let's use this tent. That frees up 2 slots for us. Although we're gonna need to get rid of one of the slots for our for the other tent that we're gonna get. Let me see. This is the point where I'm gonna have to start thinking about what I want to sell and what I don't want to sell. Although, here's the thing, really. Like, look, we have 367,000 gold, almost 368,000. I could just get rid of the Hermes shoes, the dragon armors, and the giant's gloves, and I wouldn't have to worry about my inventory at all for the rest of the dungeon. But I think we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. I think I just saved, but I'm going to save again because we used the tent afterwards. See, I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it in terms of treasure chests. Oh, this battle sucks. Oh my god. Oh, how do I want to do that? Okay, so the toads on the left can use gas. The Watchers can use Beam, and the Nagas can use a whole bunch of elemental attacks and stone you. Oof. Just kill whatever you can kill. Just kill, because we don't have time. We don't have the time or the strength or anything. Just kill it. Just kill all of it. I'm gonna save my Psychic Blast, but just kill everything. The best defense is a good offense in this case. Ow. Okay, so the Parasuit gives you... What protections does the Parasuit gives you? It gives you Ow, Circle Fire, Ice, Para, Poison, not Poison, Para, Weapon, and Stone. It doesn't give you Circle Poison or Circle Thunder. So if you get hit by gas, like it gives you protection from poison, the status effect, but it doesn't give you protection from poison, the element. So if you get hit by gas, well, you're going to get hit by gas, but like we did right there. But yeah, it's okay. We're still good. That's the heal staff. I don't want to use that just yet. We're still good. Yeah, you help out there just in case, and then there we go. Arya took a big hit too, so I probably should have healed that, but it's okay. Yeah, that battle sucks. Oh, man. These guys are kicking my ass. I'm going to use the heal staff. Forget it. It's not worth it. But as you can see, it heals for quite a large amount of HP. Like, that fully healed Yuumi and Null and gave Arya back like a solid 200 HP, even though Arya has no mana to speak of to actually take advantage of the cure books or the heal staff. So that's not bad. Yes, exactly, Adam. Yeah, and it's cool. I think it's really interesting that an old school RPG was able to invoke a similar feeling to like a survival horror game. It's like, this is an old school RPG. I'm not trying to murder zombies and having to burn their bodies and shit. Like, this is... It's crazy, you know? Okay, where am I going here? Up is... Okay, so up would get me eventually over to the section next to where we are here, right? How does this work? How do maps work? Yeah, so the section next to us, I believe, is where the stairs are to the next floor. But we can't get there until we go around here, I think. Yeah, we gotta go this way first, because this floor is confusing as fuck. That's all I can really say. But basically, just take my word for it. We need to go to the right first, and we'll end up on the far right side of the map. And then once we've gone there, we can double back and end up on the central part of the map so that we can end up on the left side of the map, which is where the exit is. Does that make sense? No? I'm just as confused as you are. I apologize. I guess just flame just in case they live. I don't think they're gonna, but... Actually, the Tengus would live a thunder, so it's probably better to do that. Yeah, there it is. They have thunder. That's what they have. So, they're not resistant to it, though, thankfully. Ow. Physical attacks shouldn't be a huge deal for us now. I mean, I guess if Confucius or Null get hit by them, it could be, but... Yeah, if Yuumi or Arya get hit by the physical attacks now, big deal. We'll be fine. That's the only disadvantage, though, for your humans and mutants, is if you get rid of the dragon armor, you do get rid of your poison and thunder resistance that you would have otherwise on the dragon armor, so... But yeah, as you can see, you actually can't get to the section next to us. You would think it's a little ledge, you could just jump over it, but this isn't Pokemon, so yeah, that's not a thing. Those dragons are gonna live this turn, aren't they? Ay, caramba. Because I need to use the dragon shield. But that means the dragons will live through the turn, because the fire flowers need to die too. Okay, in this case, the best offense is good defense. It's okay if the dragons live, because I can kill them with the samurai bow next turn. If we get the shield up, the barrier, then that's fine. Ow! They also have tornado! I didn't realize that! Okay, that's a problem. Okay, so Tengus are the big deal. Tengus are the big deal. Gotta get rid of them. How badly did that... Oh my god. That sucks, man. That's not good. That's not good for us at all. Okay, well, at least we'll get rid of the fire flowers this turn. Yeah, remember that tornado attack that the Magnate used on us that almost murdered us? It's back! Oh, Jesus. You know, actually, come to think of it, while we have the opportunity here, I'd like to show you something that I'm actually going to keep. I'm going to save real quick before I do this, but I'm going to keep this in because there is something that can happen in the game if you get a game over that I haven't shown yet. That I think is really cool, and I think it adds to the game a little bit. So I'm going to purposely leave my HP at garbage levels and probably die in the next battle to show you what's going to happen here. Like, we're not going to heal until we get it to happen. I just want to see it happen. That's the thing. So, all right, what do we got? There's a karate. So that's the most powerful, what's it called? That's the most powerful jujitsu. Well, it's the most powerful karate move of the game. What's the word I'm looking for? Punching and kicking techniques. Whatever I was calling them before. It's the most powerful one. So, that treasure chest that you see on the next ledge over in the center, that's another tent. So, yeah. We'll play dangerous. We'll try to get to that tent before I heal. I don't think we'll survive long enough to get there, but we'll try. Probably ice the toads. Flame. And then ice the nagas. Let's see if we live. Let's get dangerous. Okay, the toads are dead. What will you do, Nagas? Ow. Ow, stop it. Get some help. I need help. Yeah, martial arts techniques. That's it, Conker. Thank you. Yes, I don't know why it was escaping my brain today, but... Oh, we're in a bad way. I should be healing, but I'm not gonna. I should have saved. I should have saved. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. I want Noel to get a turn. Oh, this is incredibly dangerous what I'm doing right now. Oh, I mean it's okay. It's just cockatrices. They're not nearly as bad as they are in Final Fantasy 1. Okay, that's not good. Because I think... Well, I mean, Arya and Yumi are okay, but it's a good thing I kept that soft potion, isn't it? Because now I'm going to end up using the whole thing. Might as well use the Mage's Staff, why the hell not? Ha! That Arthur armor protects me from your stone attacks. I don't need that. I will unstone my party. I know we're trying to die here, but I'll unstone them, because it'll save me an inventory slot that I'll definitely need in about 2 minutes, so... There we go, perfect. Now we got the inventory for it. Yeah, we'll need it for the next thing that we're gonna get, so... Okay, I'm gonna save again. I'm just gonna quick save, because, again, we're most likely we're gonna die here somewhere soon. I think. Or I'm just going to refuse to die for the rest of the dungeon. I mean, I'd be okay with that. No, I actually do want to show what happens if you die in the game. Because it's important. I think it adds to the story quite a bit, so. And then... Is Noel going to get a turn? He might not. I'll just thunder the chimeras. Ow! Now Noel definitely will get a turn. Oh, that sorcerer's going to do bad things to me. Because he's going to live. Ow! Jesus. Yeah, the lack of the dragon armor, it isn't helping in this particular case. You're going to get a turn because you... Actually, yeah, use the cat claw, because I want you to keep getting agility, even though you've got good agility with the parasuit as it is, so... Yeah, there we go. Perfect. What's in chest number a bunch? Oh, look, a hyper cannon. That's nice. Hyper cannon, it's exactly like it was in the first game. It has 3 uses, and it instantly kills everything on the field. So normally, you might want to take it out of the dungeon and actually use it for yourself, but me personally, I'm going to use it right now. Trust me when I say, we need the help. Okay, so... Here's the real question, though. If I keep everybody at 1 HP, am I going to be able to live through a battle after I show off the cool thing? I don't know. Well, we'll do the best we can. I mean, if I get a preemptive strike, we'll be fine, but a lot of the enemies around here are going to start having, like, warnings, so it's kind of hard to get a preemptive strike when they have all that stuff. But we'll do the best we can. Hell, we might even make it to the tent. He says, crossing his fingers, knowing it will never happen. I'm going to get tornadoed. I'm about to get tornadoed to death. Oh, this is just fantastic. 3 heads. Actually, don't 3 heads, because that... No, it won't kill him. I'll just Tusk. Tusk and Ice will kill them. And then do this. Actually, it might not kill him. Oh, God. Oh, God, here it comes. Never mind. See, we could live that one. That's fine. Oh, dear God. Why am I doing this to myself? Okay, we got a preemptive strike here, so this one, it's fine. I'm not even worried about this battle. This battle, it's okay. Use Thunder over here. Oh, yeah, those dragons might live, won't they? Maybe not. Well, no, they will live. I'll kill one of them. Eh, that's fine. Fire Flowers and Tengus will be dead. So, I'm gonna take a drink real quick while we're waiting to die. But yeah, the thing that's gonna happen here, it's, like I said, it's very interesting. And that's definitely why I want to show it off. But it's not something you might expect. Like a lot of the things that they did right with this particular game, it's not something you might expect out of an old school Game Boy game. And Arya's going to get back some HP now, so that's just great. So, I'll just do this and that, and... Should I use Touch? I'll use Touch. What the hell? I got nothing to lose. I'm already halfway dead. Nice. Mana up and mana up. Perfect. How are we doing on stats anyway? 57, 46, that's pretty good. I want Yumi's agility to get to about 70 by the end game if I can. Like that's the top out point really for her. And just get as much mana as they both can from here on out. Like it doesn't matter after that point, but if they can get a bunch of mana, that's the important thing. If we do get to the tent by some miracle of the world before we die, I'm just gonna run around, find a battle, and then just die. So I can show what happens. Although this might be the end right here, because these are nasty enemies again. Flame, and then Thunder on the Nagas. Hopefully they die. Well, the Watchers won't be a problem. Ow. Ow, stop it. Stop healing yourself, too. Don't need that right now. I don't know why they're choosing to do nothing. That's interesting. Can't say I've seen that behavior before. So. Yeah, stop threatening me with a good time. Let's see. Everybody got a turn, so I mean Psychic Blast. Ow. We're still surviving. Barely. Okay. I should just let the Watchers live one turn, because they'll definitely kill me. Oh, man. Okay. Let's keep moving. It is nice, though, in this game that they give you back 1 HP at the end of each battle. I didn't really like the heart system from the previous game. I thought it was kind of... I don't think it worked very well, honestly, with the way that the game was structured. So... are we letting them live to see if they kill me? We're letting them live to see if they kill me. Oh, this is gonna suck. I am prepared, though. My body is Reggie. Okay, let's see it. I was gonna say... No, it still happened. I gave you every opportunity in the world! Ow. Every opportunity in the world, and you still didn't kill me. What are you doing? Okay, we're still kind of dying. We're still kind of dying, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, well, we're at the point now where I'm gonna purposely just die because Arya's the only one left that's alive. So, ow. That isn't paralyzed. If they can kill her... That's the thing. Like, do they have anything? I mean, I guess they have Beam. I might as well kill the toads while we're at it, because they're the ones that I don't care about. They can't kill her no matter what. Ow! Well, we've lost. I guess that's the end of our time in the nasty dungeon. What the? Where are we? Yeah, that's what I want to know. And who's this old dude? Odin? Isn't he one of the gods that the Guardians were talking about? So apparently when you die in this world, you end up in Valhalla. So did we die for real? Okay, we did. Oh. Well, I mean, that can be arranged. We were planning on it anyway, so... Oh. Well, that's rather nice of you, actually. He's not as nasty as some of the other gods, then, apparently. Alright, Odin, sure. If you'd be willing, I'll be able to fight again. I know how to actually beat that battle without dying, so thank you. I'll take it. So yes, if you get a game over in this game before making it to the second to last world, you end up in Valhalla Palace, where Odin will tell you he'll revive you for free as long as you come fight him someday. So cool! So cool! I love when they do this little stuff. It's so interesting. It just adds more and more to the game when they do this sort of stuff, you know? It's just so cool. I'm gonna Psychic Blast, because fuck this battle. We'll do it for real this time. And some of us might still die, but that's okay. We'll be fine. This game's mythology is wild. I know! It's so cool! Ow. It's okay, we're good. Yuumi and Noel lived, that's the important thing. And Noel got mana up out of it. Good, good. Okay, we're almost to the tent. So I don't want to use too many of my ridiculous resources here. I do want to use the heal staff, though. And I could have just used the hyper cannon, honestly. I probably should have just used the hyper cannon, but, you know. Not thinking about it. It's okay, though. That was a pretty good heal, Yuumi. You gave him almost 300 HP back. Holy crap. Okay, so now we're good. Now we'll be able to make it to the tent with no problems. But yes, I wanted to show that off, and I figured, well, since we're at that point where we're practically dead anyway, I could heal, but I'm not going to get an opportunity like this again, potentially, so I might as well use it and take the opportunity where I can get it, you know? Do this again, and then I'm going to use just ice. I don't think they're strong against it. I don't think I think the thing with the Lamia class of monsters in this game is that they have really good abilities, but the vast majority of the time they don't have resistances to anything, unless it's like stone. Ow. But, yeah, stone resistance, I mean, it's good. It's its own element, so it's rather nice to not get hit by it, but, yeah. It, doesn't really help. Hey, look, HP and mana. Nice. I mean, you know, Arya died again, but that's okay. If anybody's gonna die, I'd rather Arya or Confucius get killed and then revive at the end of the battle, so. I keep not using the hyper. I'm gonna use the hyper cannon in the next battle. But yeah, really where you end up burning through your cure books is when you're healing your robot, because they don't really heal at all. Like, that's the end of the sentence. They don't really heal. And when you start getting into situations like this, where there's just a billion enemies that come after you one after the other, well, yeah, it doesn't really work out. Okay, forget all of this. Hyper cannon, let's do this. If Cole were here, he would tell me to say, I cast fuck everything in that general direction. Boom. There you go. Yes, hello, Allfather, indeed. Little plan, failed state that ties into the mechanics are the best. I love it! It's so good! It's such a nice little detail. And it's like, it's not like a normal game over, right? Where you're like, ah, crap, I got a game over, and it just kicks you back to the load screen and you have to reboot. They actually have a legitimate story thing that happens, and it actually helps the story later, because here's the thing. So you find Odin later, and you have to fight him, right? If you find him without ever getting a game over, he says nothing to you when you find him. He just fights you and then dies. But now, because we got a game over, the game will remember that we got a game over, and when we go see him, he'll actually have new dialogue because we got a game over. is so cool! Okay, do I hyper cannon this battle? I mean, Arya's gonna go first, I think, but I guess I hyper cannon this battle because, like, I just want to kill everything. Just kill everything. I don't even care anymore. Yes, Valhalla pre-Final Fantasy 13 even, yeah. It was not the first place that Valhalla took place. I could be saving this hyper cannon, by the way, for the final floor, but it's alright, we'll be fine. We got enough stuff to where it won't be a big deal. Speaking of final floor, we're almost there. I'm trying to save the tent until we get there, so that way I'm fresh and ready to go for once we get there. Of course, the game wouldn't let me just go there. I have to get into one battle right before we get there. Okay, so... yeah, we're gonna use the hyper cannon, so whatever. It's not a big deal because hyper cannon go! Oh wait, that's flame. Do that first. Get the barrier up so that we don't get cucked. There we go. Perfect. Goodbye. Okay. Whew! Last floor. We're making it. Yeah, just now Cole felt a great disturbance in the force. He'll be coming down in a minute. He'll be like, my ears were ringing. Were you talking about me? So. Okay. Now, it's a good thing, actually, that Yumi used up that inventory slot that she had there, because when we go through this floor here, the last floor is full of items that have very few uses. That you can, it's almost like there's a whole bunch of one-use items, and Yumi's going to be the one to use them. They're there in case you need them to help you get through the final floor, but there's one item in particular that I'd like to give her. Actually, I might even want to give it to Noel. But basically, there's one item here that I want to give to one of them, and then there's one item that I want to keep for later, along with the Saigon and the Dragon helmet, so... how are we going to do that? Because we got... well, we're going to use this tent, first of all. Because if we needed to use it anywhere, we might as well use it here. And now we're going to save, because, yeah, it's probably in my best interest to do that. How are we doing on skills? Well, we're full now, but, like, how's Yumi doing on skills? Okay, we've got enough resources to for sure to get through the rest of this area. I'm going to move Ice and Thunder down, because after this, she's mostly going to be equipping, like, weapons in this slot here, like the Saigon and stuff, so we'll just put that there. No, you have plenty of Ices, and you've got full Psychic Blasts and Thunders. We are in good shape. We've got about 20-something cures left, so let's do this. Don't take the left path. It leads nowhere. At this point in time, I am okay with completely ignoring a path if it leads nowhere, because, good lord, man, this dungeon is something else. Japanese interpretations of Western mythologies are always fascinating. Yeah, I find that they always, like, they look at it like how a little kid looks at something when they're learning it for the first time in a lot of cases, right? Like, there's this sense of wonderment from the way that they interpret mythology that is just, like, it's just interesting to me to look at the way that they look at things, look at the way that they look at our interpretation of things, I guess. While I'm murdering these cockatrices and probably getting stoned while I'm at it, although here's the thing, right, is that because I have... okay, well, there we go, there's one stone. Because I have Yumi and Arya in the front slot, and both of them have stone immunity, usually Petrify won't work. And even if it does work on the other two, it's not as likely to work because of the fact that it could still miss. It doesn't have high accuracy, so yeah, there's that. We have one slot left, right? Let's see. Yeah, we do. We have one slot left. Let me go look at the map real quick so I can see which direction I want to go here. All the way to the right? All the way to the right. Okay. Because if we go down here, you'll notice there's a fork in the road. Now, the end of the dungeon is actually to my right, but I want to go to the right first anyway, even though there's two treasure chests that are off to my left and below me, because the item that I get to my right here is actually, it's a one-use item, so like I'd rather get it so that we can use it up and then still have the freed inventory slot. But this is where things start getting really interesting here. I mean, it's been getting interesting since we have been going here, but it starts getting really interesting here in particular because of the fact that you start using up items that you normally would want to save for something like the final boss fight right now, because you just need to keep your inventory clean enough to get through the rest of the dungeon, you know? So, and take advantage of any preemptive strikes that you can get at this point because they're not common. So, this particular battle was a blessing. So, and it gave me lots of money too, so that's rather nice. Okay, so the exit is that left path that I just passed up there. We want to go this way first to go get an item. Right there. A nuclear bomb. Awesome. So that is kind of like the way that it was in the first game. It just deals an incredibly large amount of damage to every enemy on the field. We'll let Yumi use it, and we'll let her use it in the next battle, so that way it frees up an inventory slot for the next item that I get. They play up the heroics, while Westerners tend to be more cynical. Prime cynical Western mythology is the OG God of War trilogy, which still has its place, and you love them. See, I've never played the OG God of War trilogy personally, other than God of War 1. And the only reason why I stopped God of War 1 was because I got kind of pissed at the tutorial, because I'm actually not going to use the nuclear bomb in this battle. We're going to use it in one where it's like, I'm going to die if I don't use it, you know, like, or there's a chance of me getting viciously murdered. This battle is cake, so... I will want to use it before we get to the next chest, though. But we'll get there eventually. Yeah, I got kind of miffed at the tutorial in the original God of War because I was fighting and killing everything and being this general badass with these chain swords and everything like that. And then it forces you to stop for like 2 or 3 minutes to push a block. I was like, you guys just killed the pacing of your tutorial. What are you doing? And I mean, the rest of the game, from what I understand, was great, but that always miffed me. And I never ended up owning the game personally, so it became kind of hard to, like, go back to it, you know. This is not a battle where I'd want to use the nuclear bomb, so we're just going to do this and this. Different views of mythology, which is really awesome. Yes, absolutely. It's very interesting, I find. Well, I'm getting stone-skinned. Yep, there we go. I need to stop that. I need to just use flame. I'm just afraid if I use flame that I'm not going to, like... Oh, you know what I could do instead, actually? Is I could target the Watchers with Nail, so that way I won't get stoned, because it'll just skip Confucius's turn. So, and I gotta be a little careful, because I only got 2 stone potions left, so yeah, if you want to get out of here, go south. You can still get 1 item before you leave, so... Okay, this is a battle where I'm gonna want to use the nuclear bomb, because this is a battle that I definitely don't want to do. Don't feel like fighting your enemies? Throw the power of atom bombs at them! Just waiting for Yumi to casually commit a war crime here. There we go. As Nitro would tell me if he was here. There we go. And if anything lives, I mean, if we waited a little while, the radiation would probably kill them. But we don't got that kind of time, so we'll just Psychic Blast them to death. God of War Trilogy is really fun for you. Any opinion on God of War 4, then? We own it. I haven't played it personally yet. My brother Steve has it, and he's playing it, not at the moment, but he's playing it on and off himself. He suggested it, and I will be playing it at some point in the future, so I'll be able to give you an opinion of that then. Initial impressions are good, though. It looks really good from what I've seen of it. I haven't seen very much, because obviously I don't want to spoil myself for it, so... But yeah, it looks pretty good from what I've seen, so... do I want to use the Cat Claw, and then just do some... Flame Psychic Blasting? I kind of do. I kind of just want to start blasting. Yeah, fission mailed indeed. That, like, I was trying to do like that. Oh god, I'm gonna get gassed to death. I just nuked people and now they're gonna gas me to death. Oh boy. Ow. I'm gonna have to heal after this. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was trying to make sure that I used up, got some more agility and everything. I was trying to hum the fission mailed, like that weird version of it, but I ended up just humming the regular one instead, pretty much. Okay, heal staff a go-go. I don't even care anymore. If it gets used up by the end, it gets used up by the end. No big deal. I'm gonna save, actually, though. I think it's a good idea. Okay, so we want to go south here. We'll go to the left in a few minutes once we get what's to the south here. Okay, so here was my thought process, right? So we'll do what we normally do against these cockatrices and watchers, but instead of using Nail on the cockatrices and getting stoned, we'll use Nail over here, so that then, when Arya kills them instantly, it just skips Confucius's turn, so that I don't have a chance to, you know, get stone skinned and killed. So there we go. See, that worked out a lot better. Love the new Norse setting and the new mellow view on mythology and godhood. The new God of War, you still miss the character action feel of the original ones. It's plagued by modern trends like walk-talk segments, but it's still a great game. Christopher Judge is great as Kratos. Plays different from the OG God of War. I thought so too. Gotcha. So it's got more of that modern game syndrome almost to it. Not that it's a bad thing, just it's a little bit less arcadey like the older God of Wars and more of a Last of Us type of a deal. Although I've heard that from some people. They've said, yeah, it's got some of the sections almost feel a little bit like The Last of Us. Probably the walk-talk sections is what they're talking about in that particular case. Oh, thank God, a preemptive strike. I'll take it. Flame, and then ice the flowers. Probably don't even need flame, but I'm just using it for safety in case the Rydians don't die. You don't want those Rydians to live, by the way. They have access to like Vulcan cannons and missiles and just generally things that you don't want to deal with. Not much fun to deal with them, so. And Conquer had similar thoughts about it as well. Gotcha. Yeah, well, we'll see what my impressions are. It'll probably be fairly similar, but we'll see what my impressions are. Okay, so we've got the glass sword. Now, you may recall in the previous playthrough in Final Fantasy Legend 1, I abstained from using the glass sword because of the fact that I thought it was too strong. It was supposed to only have one use, be absurdly powerful, but then break after being used. And it ended up having 50 uses because the developers made an error. In this game, they fixed it, though, because if you look right here, Glass Sword has one use. Now, you may be saying, well, you know, is it really going to be all that useful for Yuumi? It's a strength weapon, isn't it? Well, technically it is a strength weapon, but it's the first good strength weapon in the game, because what it does is it deals fixed damage until your strength is at a higher level. Once your strength is above 70, then it adds your strength to the damage formula. All strength weapons that we get from now on will behave this way, or at least all the good ones that we get from now on will behave this way, and it makes strength weapons in the endgame actually remotely useful for once. So yeah, that's how that works, and we're going to use this glass sword now, because we're going to flame and psychic blast everything else. So, yeah, let's do that. There we go. Watchers are dead, that's all I care about. I mean, I'm going to get gassed to death maybe, but well, whatever, it's fine. Ow! Maybe it's not fine. Ha! I should be using the Dragon Shield more. Like, I know the Watchers are a big deal, but, like, I'm taking unnecessary damage in some of these cases. It's just you got to be careful, too, though, because, like, see, there you go. Did you see how much damage that just did? 1,000 damage without me even trying? Yeah. There you go. And it shattered the sword, so that also means that we have another free inventory slot. Yuumi got strength out of it, so that's fine, I guess. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not gonna say no. Heal staff a go-go. Okay, we just gotta heal Arya now. So we'll let everybody heal once. Alright, and with that, we have 2 more treasure chests to grab, one of which I'm actually gonna equip on Yuumi, and one of which I'm gonna hold on to for the remainder of the dungeon. And yeah, we have enough room for it all, so that's good. It's very good. I'm going to equip it on Yuumi right now, just because of the fact that she has the free inventory slot. It's probably better for Null to equip the next thing that we're going to get, but I just don't have the free inventory space at the moment for Null, so I'm just gonna give it to Yuumi instead. Use that on the toads, use that, and then use that. Okay, there you go. Better written than The Last of Us 2 and delivers on themes better. Also has legit nice feel-good ending. Atreus and Kratos playing off each other was much better than you were expecting. That's good. Yeah, I'll be giving it a shot. I'm not sure when exactly yet, but we'll get there. But yeah, solid damage that glass sword does. It's just, it only has one use, so it's one of those cases where it would be nice if you could keep it, but since you can't keep it, you might as well just, you know, get rid of it. Speaking of things I'm going to get rid of, we got a laser sword. And that's another thing that I think is fairly interesting. It's kind of one of those, like, SMT bullshit moves, is the sorcerers on these floors and the Rydians on these floors can drop items. And that limits your inventory again. So it forces you to have to get rid of items that could be fairly valuable when you take them to the thing. It's like you get all this way, and then it's like, oh, fuck you, game, you know? But it's not like I don't think it's personally all that bad. Like, games this isn't a bullshit move, because you can just get rid of whatever they give you, you know what I mean? It's like, I'd like to sell it, but look at my money I already have, so it doesn't really matter if I don't get to sell it. It could be valuable, but it's fine. It's not like the game just instantly killed me because every single enemy RNG smacked me in the face, you know? I think I want to go... No, I want to go to the left, because I can get to that treasure chest that was over there from here. And then once we get that treasure chest, we're home free. We just got to get out of the dungeon and we're done. And I can breathe a sigh of relief. Felt it was very well written, and the feel-good ending was surprising when you got it. The two playing off each other was solid for sure. Nice, nice. Sounds like we'll all have fairly similar thoughts then when I play it, so. Okay, there we go. Yumi got more mana, perfect. How are we doing on stats anyway? 5750, that's pretty good. And Null's got 57 mana. That's also good. So yeah, his mana might not end up being like precisely as high as Yumi's, depending on how much more mana I use for her. Speaking of things to use mana for, there's our first Flare book. I described what it was already, but I'll describe it again. It's 10 uses, non-elemental damage to all enemies, and it takes your mana stat into account and multiplies it by 13 to deal your damage. So what would that be for Yumi? Like 650 damage to every enemy? You remember how I was saying with the Hyper Cannon, I cast fuck you in this general direction? Same deal with Flare. it generally casts fuck you in this general direction. So it's really good. You should use it. It's really good. I'm going to use the Dragon Shield for this fight because there's only 2 groups of enemies. And Flame will soften them up. So yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to use up the Ice Book because eventually we're going to be able to... Like, we have all this money now. And you may recall that Echigoyas sold Flare books. He doesn't have a store anymore, obviously, because he's dead, but he sold stuff that's normally only available in the final world. So when we get to the final world, we'll have access to Flare books that we can buy. And yeah, needless to say, because of how much money we're getting in this dungeon, I'm going to be buying a few. Heal Staff? I think Heal Staff is in order. Yeah, see, healed us all the way to full. Didn't even have to use a Cure Book. Okay, so final save before we get out of the dungeon. Let's go. Somebody is blasting their music in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but I apologize if you can. It's very outside of my control, but I can feel it vibrating my couch that I'm sitting on. That's how bad it is. I don't need Flare for this particular battle. It would be nice, but it'd probably kill everything in this battle if I used it, so I'm just gonna not. Do a Flame, though, and then do... We are going to want to save Flares, though, because eventually I'm going to run out of Flames, potentially, before we even get out of the dungeon. So, because of that, eventually Yumi and Null will have to take over in terms of the casting, like spreading all the damage out and killing everything. Although we do have Psychic Blast, too, so Flare plus Psychic Blast, I don't think most things will live. So... Oh, good. I got a rocket. Fantastic. Yeah, I probably should have used that body potion on Null because he's only gained about 40 HP since we got into here. It's not a huge deal, but well, if Yumi ends up, like I said before, if Yumi ends up with 999 HP, she probably will. No big deal. Okay, the exit is to the right. We're gonna go down because the last chest is down there. So, yeah, that's what my plan is. Yeah, I only got 5 of those. 5 of those flames left, and then we got to make do without them. They've been really nice for us, though. I will say that. This is why I like Chimera for this dungeon. Is the combination of warning and flame comes in very handy, especially on these last 3 floors. So, yeah, it's rather nice. And we should be able to take care of this without too much trouble. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Those are fire flowers, by the way. That's what the F there stands for, is fire. So, just in case you weren't sure what that meant, I will define it for you. It means it's fire flower. Cure Book? I think I'll use the Cure Book just because there's 2 people, so I can have Null and... Oh, you've only got 11 on that. How much does Yumi have on hers? 12. Okay, well, then we're healing Confucius with this, too. Okay, and Null, you're at almost 60 mana. Perfect. Like I said, if he gets to about 70, which is what I'm anticipating by the end game, we'll be in fantastic shape. And here's the final chest in the Nasty Dungeon, the Gungnir Spear. Nice thing about Gungnir is that it's similar to the Glass Sword in that it deals fixed damage until your strength is a high enough point where it adds the damage to the damage formula. So it's similar to all of the good strength weapons from here on out. The difference is the Glass Sword had 1 use, the Gungnir has 30. Rather nice. Rather nice. So we're going to stick it up here with the Dragon Helmet because these two are going to go on our eventual 5th guest party member that we're going to get. And I'm going to give the Saigon to Yumi probably in a little bit once I sell off all of my excess inventory. But that's it. We've got all the chests. So let's get the heck out of here. Just got to go this way. And then head out through the dells. That'll be a bit of a long ways away. But, I mean, hey, if we're going to keep getting into preemptive strikes on the way to the door, I'm perfectly okay with it. Okay, so there's that and that. Okay, and that takes care of that battle. Let's just keep going. The anticipation is killing me. I must see the end. Oh, we're out of samurai bows on the one. You probably won't see that happen too often. You probably won't run out of samurai bow uses for most of the dungeons, to be honest with you, because most of the dungeons won't cause you that kind of difficulty to where you'd run out of them. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm going to let the game go while I take a quick drink before we move along here. Okay. Let's see. Almost done. A little bit of bite-sized damage. That's okay. Did we get gassed? I wasn't looking. We'll find out in a minute once we get out of the battle. I mean, I have a heal staff, so I'm not really worried if we got gassed, but I'm just glad we wouldn't get gassed to death. No, we did not get gassed. Okay. Well, then we'll just use the cure books, shall we? Here we go. Probably what I'll do is, once I eventually sell off all my inventory, I'll, like, sell off these mostly used cure books, and I'll just get fresh ones. And if I have a fresh one, I don't think I'll need cure... I don't think I'll need to buy them again for the remainder of the game if I get some fresh ones, so... I'm going to do something kind of different. I'm going to save my flares, I think. Or not my flares. I'm going to save my flames by doing... we're just going to use flare just to see how much it does, because it's a preemptive strike. It's not like they're going to do anything, and if I need to clean up, I'll just Psychic Blast. Go, Yumi, go! Jesus Christ. Now, you know that those are robotic enemies because they took 850 damage from that flare, which means they had 0 mana. But yeah, as you can see, flare is, it's pretty strong. Gonna go on a run, nice being around. All right, Adam, take it easy. Enjoy your run. We will see you when we see you again. Next one, maybe. If not, we'll see you around. Take it easy. Okay, now they're getting into the final steps like that. We're almost done. We're almost out of here. Just use flare. I don't even care anymore. I have enough flares and Psychic Blast to get through. Just use it. There we go. All right, now I'll clean them up. And yeah, that's good. So yeah, Psychic Blast doesn't do quite as much damage as Flare does. It just doesn't have the same multiplier, but it's still really nice for cleaning up enemies, so. Okay, this is a battle that I can use Flame in this one. Yeah, we can use Flame in this one. And then we'll use Ice over here, because I use Thunder on the Toads. We might take a little bit of damage, but it's okay. We got rid of the Watchers. They were the OW major threat. Ideally, Yumi will go sometime before they get gas going. There we go. OW again. Okay, so we'll have to heal Arya, but that's okay. Alright, let's see. How do I want to do this? Probably a couple of cures from both of them will do. Enough. Their mana is starting to get to the point where they can fairly reliably heal Arya, even though she doesn't have any any mana of her own to go around, so. I think I'll top Yuumi off, actually, too. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost there. Hey, is that nymph from the entrance? What's going on? How'd you get here? Did you find, like, a secret exit or something? Well, yeah, it was pretty nasty. I even died in here. You know how embarrassing that is for me? No, not really, but I did die in here, so. Yeah, you did. If you say no, by the way, she kicks you back to the beginning of basement 4th floor. Not that matters, because you can just use the Pegasus Magi to get out of there, but yeah, it's kind of a dick move there. If you say no, she's like, okay, then here's some more for you, and she just kicks you right back. I think it's kind of funny, because you can just leave whenever you want, but like, I think it's funny that they would do that. But we can leave through the actual exit, because we've made it. We've completed the entirety of the Nasty Dungeon. Okay, give me a second to breathe here. Actually, I'm going to go close the map real quick, just so I can see if we dropped any frames while we were at it here. We dropped a couple, but not a huge chunk of them. Alright, anyway, we're done. That's it for the Nasty Dungeon. That was the hardest dungeon in the entire game. Let's use the Pegasus Magi. Where do I want to go? I guess we'll just go back to the second town for now. Just to unload all of the excess junk that I have, and rest the inn, get some supplies, and then we'll go from there. So like, oh, you haven't suffered enough? Suffer some more then. Yes, exactly. That is indeed exactly what she says. Yeah, basically. Alright, let's offload some gear. Let's see, what do I want here? These I'm just going to keep because we might actually end up using these eventually because, well, we might run into some status effects when we start running into level 9 monsters again. We won't run into them for a while, but let's stick this up here, actually. There we go. Okay, so everything below the Saigon I can sell. Yeah. And we should have, excuse me, quite a bit of money once we're done doing all of that. So, let's see. Everything below the Saigon I can sell. There goes that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. 25 gold for a Vampic sword. You guys are ripping me off. It's okay. Yeah, Karate and the Sun Sword sell for Mondo money. That was 50,000 gold they gave me by themselves, and now we're above 600,000. So, yeah, if you needed money for anything, this is what I meant when I said fun and profit. This is the profit part. We have no need for money basically ever again, so. Alright, let's get rid of the cure books here. I'm actually also going to get rid of the heal staff, and we'll just buy a fresh one. Again, it's not like we're going to need the money for any reason whatsoever from now on, so. And get rid of this cure book. And let's see. Yeah, no, you still got to keep the giant and dragon stuff there, so we won't. Actually, I couldn't give you the dragon helmet now that I think about it. Might as well. You don't have circle change or circle para anymore. So since it'll give you better defense. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll leave that on you. So now he has circle damage and circle para, so that'll help him out a little bit with his defenses. So. Alright, so I was going to go get another cure book for Yuumi and another cure book for Noel, as well as another heal staff. Yeah, so that's what we'll go get. We'll go get those. Those are not at this thing here. The Ice and Thunder books that we have, though, don't worry about those. We'll probably eat through all of them by the time we get to the final world, and that would be perfect, because that's when I'll be able to buy all those flare books that I want to get, so. Alright, heal staff. Cure book. Cure book. Should I buy elixirs? Colonel, what's the message? Sent me 2. Okay, that's spam. Gotta fix my spam filter. And the other one was Duolingo telling me my hearts are full again. I'm ready for new lessons. That was Duolingo telling me, oh, you haven't suffered enough? Suffer some more then. No. No, Duolingo's not making me suffer. I'm quite enjoying my time learning all of my stuff. I'm still learning Spanish, and then I started up the French course as well. I think I mentioned that before, but yeah, I'm quite enjoying all of the time I'm spending doing that stuff. So, all right, so Cure Book and Heal Staff we'll just leave on Yuumi for the remainder of the game. The Flare books eventually we'll probably want a couple of, like where the Ice and Thunder books are instead, and I'll eventually equip the Saigon as well. But we'll get there when we get there. Is that everything in terms of equipment for my items? I just want to get rid of the giant helmet as well. So we'll put this stuff up here and just sell everything below the Saigon again. And then we'll warp back to the Nasty Dungeon and we'll head to the next world. And once we head to the next world, that's where we'll call it a day. Okay, that's everything, right? Yeah, that's everything. We're still hovering, excuse me, at almost 600,000 gold. So that's pretty nice. Do I want elixirs? I have room for just 4 elixirs for when we... Actually, I could just get 2, because I just need 1 for Arya and 1 for Confucius, because I can just heal Null and... Actually, no, I should probably get 3, because Null's uses on his abilities could probably use the pick-me-up. So, don't have access to tents, so we gotta make do with it somehow. So, we'll just keep 3 elixirs. What the hell? Why not? Okay, so we'll keep everything else, and now let's use the Pegasus Magi to go back to the Nasty Dungeon, but we won't be going in this time. We'll be just going there so that we can get the heck out of there. Just like this. Alright, now that we've made our preparations, let's save before we head to the next area. We'll go to the next world, we'll see where we are, and then we'll call it a day. And at this point, I don't think it's even remotely worth it to fight one nightmare. Probably won't get me anywhere that I haven't already gotten, so... Alright, epilepsy alert. And we can open this door. I mean, we could have, because we had the Pegasus Magi this whole time, so we could open this door at any time we wanted, but I wanted the profit. Oh. There's no more doors. So this must be the final world, then. Huh. Interesting. Epilepsy alert. I mean, there's no other doors to go through, so this area right here must lead to the center of the Pillar of the Sky once we eventually get through here. Apparently it's a cloud world. Oh, good, we have to fight Biak Ko again. Fantastic. How many Magi are in this world? Should be all of them, right? Let's see. We're missing 9, so let's see. 8. Okay, so maybe there's one beyond this? I mean, I guess it makes sense that there would be one Magi maybe in the center of the Pillar of the Sky. Like, you leave it there, and then you still have to bring all the other ones in order to, you know, in order to go from there. Oh, Somebody's got a fancy building here. Well, let's fight the enemies that are here first before we go into the fancy building. Let's see. Yeah, I can use the Dragon Shield on this. This isn't really a hard fight. By comparison to some of the other ones, this isn't really a hard fight. Lava Worm will not take any damage from Flame, though, so let's just do this. Get that barrier, beat up the Lamia before it can do anything. Killers, I don't think are really all that interesting. I mean, they probably do something, but most of the enemies of that type really don't do a whole lot because of the way that their attacks work. Like, they don't usually get a lot of damage unless the battle is really long or they have low uses, which they never do because when they start the battle, they start with the maximum number of uses. They fix that in the third game, though. Like, they eventually will give enemies that are similar to those guys different skills that just deal fixed damage almost. Not more damage, but fixed damage. Well, let's see whose building this is, then. Hey, wait a minute. I recognize this music. I recognize this soul crystal. I recognize this battle because I just fought it. I was gonna say something, but we'll finish the battle and then I'll say it. Yeah, this place looks very familiar. I feel like I've just seen it not too long ago. Could it be that we've found Valhalla Palace? Will we be able to defeat Odin in one-on-one combat? And what about the final Magi? All this and more will be revealed on the next episode of Final Fantasy Legend II: The Stream Edition, which will probably be the finale, actually, because, I mean, we're almost done collecting the Magi. What more will there be to do, you know? But we'll see on the next episode. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And I will see all of you on the next one, which will be happening on Thursday, after my vocational training. I'm probably going to be dead tired, but that's okay. It'll still be happening at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. This music is depressing. I'm going to go outside. Game? Never mind.